Hi, everybody! Hello! Yay, we're
Hello.
back this week with another episode of This Show is a Mimic.
Hello.
Ah, I forgot to mute the stream, and that was really loud. That was really loud in my ears.
It'll be loud in everyone else's ears as well, because it'll echo through on the stream.
Yeah, no thanks.
Double Aaron.
Yeah, that's big oof. So I'm hosting this week, so things might be a little wonky. But, hi, I am your DM for today, Mr. Aaron, Obsidian Olive on pretty much everywhere. And joining us today, we have, that direction. That way. I was right there. Yeah, that way.
I don't know. It's different because of Discord. To you, it'll be to us, it's the other way. I don't know.
Just
you were
do
right.
it.
Hello.
Cover for me, Ben.
I'm doing that. Hello. Hello, everyone. I am Ben, aka Ben does D&D on all the things, mainly TikTok. Yeah, that is me. I am playing Renee, who is a Circle of the Moon druid. She's a wood elf as well. So yeah, that's me. That's my character. That's who I'll be playing today. I'll pass you off to the lovely Kenna.
Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is Kenna. It is Miss Saoirse on TikTok. Today I will be playing the Pallid Elf Rogue Irzu Dorith.
Pallid Elf.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hello, I am Lucas. Lucas is stressed on TikTok.
Are you stressed?
And actually, not today.
No!
I've had a really good week.
Oh!
Wait, that means you need to cancel your TikTok, though, because it's not in your brand anymore.
Oh no!
You gotta.
Lucas is no longer stressed.
My whole brand is done.
My
Yes.
Yeah, I am playing Grahil, the Goliath Paladin.
Oh, and our last member has gone
No,
away.
no,
So-
no,
I'm here. You wrapped that up a lot faster than I assumed, so I was like,
Sorry.
that's okay. It's okay. Hi, I'm Noah. I'm unprepared. I'm Nova Killing on TikTok, and I am playing the Goliath cleric, life cleric, Mazlong, who is twin brother to Grahir. I don't know where he is on my
that guy.
stream. He's next
That
to me.
man.
Heck yeah.
That dude.
Okay, Noah, you wanted to shout something out real quick, because you were introducing
Oh.
yourself, remember?
Oh, I didn't know if we were doing introductions first and then doing
Do
that.
it.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, for anyone that's watching and doesn't know yet, the Welcome In, this upcoming, not tomorrow, but the next Sunday on the 16th, we're having a one-shot with Sarah's Coffee, Dankles, Mr. Chickadance, the Governor, myself, and Youth Pastor Ryan. Youth Pastor Ryan on TikTok is joining us
So
for a one-shot.
freaking cool.
So, go check out the Welcome In during that time or at any time that you'd like, but especially during that time. It's going to be very fun, very fun. So, yeah.
Do it.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm so glad you get to talk about that now, because that's been a secret for so
It's been
long.
I know.
I've been holding it for so long, man. I've wanted
Oh.
to. I'm gonna make a video probably today or tomorrow about it. It's
That'd
exciting.
be so cool. All right, so other things before we really get started with today's one shot. We should probably talk about what today is, in case you were not here last week or did see what was going on. We're currently in the middle of an in-canon two-shot to our normal Sorodin campaign, known as the Runes of the Runa'tak, where we are taking some not new, but new to us adventurers, and they are clearing out what's known as a Runa'tak temple, a long-forgotten or long-dead civilization left behind. Stone cities and temples that have long gone unused, and they've been hired as part of a research team to go into these temples, or to one of these temples, see what's in it, bring back any knowledge or relics that they find, and pull it all out for a decent amount of coin. Now, today specifically is Runes of the Runa'tak, thanks to our lovely Lucas's stress.
I hate it. I
It's-
hate it.
I love it. I
It's
love
so
it.
good. Oh, it didn't update on the thing. I forgot to update the info. Let me just update that real
It's
quick.
illegal. It's not
There
canon.
we go.
It won't be on the
There
VOD.
we
Yes.
go. There we
It won't be on the
go.
VOD.
Oh, hey, look, it's Crooklocket. Hi, Crooklocket. So, just to catch us up on exactly what happened last time, our adventurers, plus one member who unfortunately won't be joining us today because of some work stuff, our lovely Hex, who's playing Magnus, the human wizard. These four and their NPC companion, Darkest Pawn behind the cave, went into this Runa'tak temple to discover a labyrinth made of broken pillars guarded by small, fiendish stone monkeys that seemed to want to tell them some kind of story by leading them through this stone labyrinth. And they're slowly starting to uncover secrets about why the Runa'tak fell and why that culture no longer has the power that it previously held. Now, there were several in-character and in-canon disputes that happened among the party last session, including a fight between two brothers, a fight between comrade-in-arms, the confusion of several elvish folk, a couple topics that hit too close to home for one of our lovely party members. And where we left off was our heroes leaving this labyrinth, delving deeper and farther into the temple, coming across a large room, probably 2-3 football fields long, 2 football fields wide, spacious, mostly empty, besides where one wall, the left wall, or the right wall, has collapsed, and water is pouring across the center of it. A gentle river here in the depths of the Runa'tak temple. And we left them right as they were entering this room. So, the players, what are you doing?
I don't know, really. I mean, I'm still walking with Irazu after the conversation we had last time. So kind of just, kind of a little calmer now than I was previously. Kind of not quite skipping along, but just still kind of reforming back to my more happier self. Yeah, that's about it. And
Grahil will look around, see this big room, and say to the party, "We need to stick together. In a room this big, we don't know what could come after us."
Where is Darkpalm?
Darkpalm was the first to enter the room, and she's actually down by the shores of this underground river. It's about 60 feet wide, moving past at a decent pace, and she is down at the edges of it where there is a small wooden boat, barely larger than a kayak, moored at the edge with a couple of sandbags weighing it down, and she's inspecting it. She's probably a solid 50, 60 feet ahead of you.
Are there any columns in this room or anything for the fiend monkeys to be on top of?
Go ahead and roll your choice of an investigation, perception, or survival check.
Oh. What am I good at?
Me.
Perception.
Yeah, same.
Wow.
That's...
So I have a +7 to perception, and I rolled a 3, so 10.
10. Okay, so the obvious features of this room, no, there are no standing structures. As you look up, this room is a bit shorter than the previous room. It's still massive. It's far too large for it to be like a comfortable space above your head. But the ceiling is old stone brick that has been weaved together, and it seems strong enough. And the walls are fairly smooth besides the one that's caved in. There is, however, one thing that you had not noticed upon entering the room, because it was actually right beside the entrance. There is a statue there that has, as you look at it, it's kind of hard for you to tell just because of how low you rolled there. It looks a little out of place, but it's a Runaten, a Tabaxi person, who at one point looked like a fearsome warrior of some kind, with their arm raised above their head and a shield in front of them. But as you look, you realize the arm at the wrist has been broken off, and you look around for a half a second and realize it's about 2 feet away from the rest of the statue, on the ground wielding a spear.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what you see in the room.
Does this? What does the spear look like?
As you kind of get closer and look at it, the spear is the same kind of stone that the rest of the statue was carved out of, with little intricate carvings across it, similar to the markings you've seen on the previous artworks in the labyrinth. It's this cultural... It almost looks like hash marks, like scratching, but it's too well angled. It's too precise to be random. It's probably, if you had to guess, something arcane, even though Arcana was never something that you particularly studied with your brother. You've at least seen similar things. Yeah, that's kind of what you gather from that. But it's just the same style of stonework.
There's no like eyes on it, are there?
Roll me one more investigation check.
Investigation. 14, 15, 16, 17.
17. As you look, there is indeed, right below the head of the spear, right on the end of the haft, there is scratched in a small eye, though again it looks decorative, non-functional. It looks similar to the eyes that were scratched into the previous art pieces.
I'm going to put on a glove.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick up the spear.
Okay. So you pick it up, and as you go to pick it up, it's actually quite heavy. Like, the spear itself is probably a good 20 pounds because it's made of stone. And it still has the Runaten hand attached to it, the part of the statue, because as you look at it, you realize it's not a separate spear. It is a full carving. The two are bound. So the hand itself is probably another 10 pounds. So it's about 30 pounds of just rock that you're picking up.
Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm gonna carry it over, and I'm gonna walk over to Dark Palm.
Okay, so the rest of you see that Irzu stops directly outside of the entranceway to this room and leans down to look at the pieces of this broken statue, this Runaten statue that has been removed of its weapon, essentially. And Irzu picks up the spear and walks it over, and as he walks, you hear like the slight like scratch and clank as occasionally the stone will dip and scrape against the floor as he moves.
Does it still have the hand attached to it?
Very much. They're the same piece of stonework. It's not like a separate stone spear in a stone hand.
Oh, no.
It is one statue.
Renee will look like a little bit confused and kind of like, I guess, follow Izu and kind of look a little perplexed to me, like, I don't think that would make a very effective weapon.
I don't know. But doesn't it look like the ones in the carvings?
Yeah. I suppose so.
Mm.
Oh, you think maybe it might be useful not as a weapon, but maybe as some sort of, I don't know, a device of some kind to use for something. It's very clever of you. That's very smart. I like that.
Irzu kind of clears his throat as he was not thinking of that, but that's what he's going to pretend that he's just going to agree.
Renee completely takes that at face value. He's like, "Yep, you're so smart." Gives you a big old smile.
I'm gonna walk up to Irzu. You need help carrying that, or seem to be struggling a little bit?
Do I get any arcane sense or anything from this?
Make an Arcana check.
Look, check, I guess.
4.
No, you do not.
I just hand it to him. I say, "Yeah, thank you."
I just pick it up and throw it over my one shoulder.
Yeah, it's very easy. Like, one arm, you just...
Yeah.
'Cause you have, what, an 18 strength?
I have a 17, but
17, still, yeah, very easily one-handed, just like... And you see, actually, the way you've grabbed it is the hand is all the way up the top, so it looks like he's waving around a weird little marble, or, like, a stone white flag.
I was hoping it kind of looked like a golf club.
Oh my god, yes.
A
Just a
very,
giant
very
golf.
large golf
Just a
club.
driver.
Like,
Yes, it's just a
ungodly large.
huge driver. I can just swing it over.
Golf. Just go back, find one of the little monkeys, let it drop down onto the floor, and then just...
Your compatriots, Grahil, as you've like entered this room, have begun to kind of move back into position, speak amongst each other. What have you been doing as you've been in this room?
He has, I guess, kind of been surveying surveying the room, specifically keeping eyes on Dark Palm. Yeah, definitely hanging to the back. He's definitely not got the, charge ahead attitude that he did at the start of this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the 6 of you technically. Actually, functionally, while we're moving through this, I'm going to not refer to Magnus just because it makes it simpler in terms of running everything. So the 5 of you are now in this room. You see that this small wooden boat is here. You've seen the statue. Is anyone taking any further action?
Nope.
Go ahead.
I think Grahil is actually going to walk up next to Dark Palm, crouch down, looking over the water, and just stare down into the water, see if I can see anything. If this really is just like a little bit of water running across the floor, or if this is a deeper stream / river.
Go ahead and roll me just a straight perception check. Yeah, let's just do perception.
Okay. Nope.
What was the number? I'm sorry, you cut out for me for a second. What'd you say?
3 plus 0, 3.
Plus 0? Yeah. It's water, and you can't see more than like an inch into it, so you don't know how deep it goes.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna walk over. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say it's a really like brown, muddy color because even though it's coming through a lot of limestone, which would normally filter it, it's still pulling away chunks of dirt wall, and it's been doing that for a long time. So it's still very obscure to look through. It's very obscured.
I'm gonna take my golf club hand spear and dip it in and see how far it goes.
Okay.
Like towards the center, just to see how deep.
Well, towards the center is a good 20 feet in front of you.
Okay, then like right in front of me. I didn't know that it was that wide.
As you like kind of dink into it, it only goes about 6 inches. Like right where you dink it, it's just like dink.
Oh, okay. It's about 6 inches, brother. I just turned it down.
Okay, we all know the joke. We don't have to say it. We all heard it in our heads.
I said it out loud because I didn't realize I did
no,
until
you still haven't said the joke. None of us have said the joke yet. It's fine. Just keep going.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
okay.
dear. Welcome to This Show is a Mimic, everybody.
I'm just wreaking havoc. I'm sorry.
And where is the boat in the room?
The boat is about middle of the room on your side of the river. It's sat with some sandbags holding it about maybe 2 feet out of the water.
I'm not sure why we would need a boat to get across this, but maybe it gets deeper as we go. And so Grahil is going to walk over and grab the boat and drag it to the edge of the water.
Okay. Do you remove the sandbags before you do that, or do you keep the sandbags in?
From inside the boat?
From inside the boat.
I think initially, like, he doesn't even notice they're there.
Okay.
He just grabs the boat and starts pulling it.
So you pull the boat. It's very easy to shift the boat into the water, especially with like how absolutely wrecked your muscles are. Just they're so big.
20 strength, baby.
20 strength. So you just shift it into the water, and as you kind of push it in, it just doesn't move when you release it because you feel it just stay with the ground and be completely level because it's being weighed down by sandbags.
Right. At that point, he would notice the bags and just like he'd be like, "What? Why is it not?" Oh, and then he'll start taking them out.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, what? He'll roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
As you're taking the sandbags out.
The sandbags are not sandbags.
9 plus 0, 9.
9. Okay, yeah. You take.
Oh my god.
Out, and as you pull it out, it just seems like a boat. It's just floating there on the water, and you actually do realize as you push it in that once it gets past like maybe 2 feet, the river, you don't know how deep it goes, but it goes deep enough to be able to fit the boat. It goes deeper than a couple inches.
Right. The boat's floating.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's there on the water. He's still holding on to it. You doing anything else?
Hey, how much did all the sandbags weigh and everything? Like, how many were there? Because if the boat's weighed down by those, it probably won't be able to handle us.
Probably like there's probably like 6 or 7 50-pound sandbags in there.
All right.
And the boat is also size 1. It fits one person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
There were
changes things.
There were 6 or 7 50-pound sandbags, and it fits one person.
Yes, stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
Yes, sand is a lot denser than a human body. Yes.
You said stacked on top of each other, and I thought you meant humans.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, if that's how we have to ride this boat, I mean, jump on my
Let's get
shoulder.
on
Wait.
each other's shoulders.
How much does everybody weigh?
A lot.
Us, we will not be able to. Or, no,
But we literally have a character trait that says we're considered large creatures.
No.
All right. Yeah. If it only fits one, I guess. Anybody afraid of swimming?
Damn, I really wish I had a swim speed.
All right.
Wish you would enter. Dark Palm says behind you.
Is there any writing or anything on the boat? Did we discuss that?
Your choice of investigation or arcana check. Go for it.
Oh.
Arcana.
Oh my god.
Why y'all rolling so low today?
I don't know. This
Can
is
I
going
assist and
I
also
just need
look?
Renee to
You can
roll for
okay.
something.
Kenna, you have sorry, Irzu, you have advantage because Mazlung is also checking out the boat with you.
I'm not using that one. I'm not using that one.
Dice jail.
Thank God. 18
All right.
for investigation.
As like Grahil pushes the boat into the water just a bit, Mazlong, Irzu, you both stand there, and it catches your eye because you look over at Mazlong, who's holding the spear that you had previously looked at, and you see similar arcane markings on the spear to the boat. You don't know if they have the same function because you don't have that knowledge behind you, but you see that there are some amount of etching along the edges of the boats. Everywhere that the wood seams together and is glued together, that's where you'll see etchings.
I'm gonna call Dark Palm over and just, I think you're good with this kind of stuff. Do you want to check this out? There's some etchings to the side of this.
She's gonna kind of look over and drag her palm around across it. These are not Kipu. This is not the language of my people. This is something arcane. I am not knowledgeable in arcane language.
Wait, so it's an arcane language? So like what kind of languages could that be?
It's generally not like a spoken language. It's not like celestial, infernal, stuff like that. It's just it's more formulaic markings that are evidence of spells. So
Would I be able to make an arcana check to see if
you can absolutely attempt to do that. Yes.
Alright. Let's see if my dice are cursed today as well, boys.
Could Grahil
That was
call? Is Magnus with us?
If
as
you
someone
need
we
Magnus, you
utilize?
can ask him to do things. Yes.
Okay. So Magnus being someone who has previously been interpreting every. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's 14.
14. You figure there's probably the enchantment that's on this boat because it is in some way enchanted. You can't tell quite what it does, but it does look to be like an abjuration style script. So it looks like something that would be guarding something, magic that blocks things, that protects things. That's the kind of magic that you're kind of like picking up on. This is not your style of magic, but it's kind of like one coding language to the next. Like this is like Python and you're used to Java, but you can kind of figure out what's going on. Yeah.
I'm gonna Renee's gonna kind of like look at it and kind of look back to everyone else and be like, abjuration magic. Could be warding or protecting of some kind. Not my expertise, but it's something.
A wizard, do you recognize the spell?
Magnus is gonna blindly move forward, the scroll popping out of his pocket, and he's gonna put his hand on the edges of the markings, and he's going to roll. And he did not roll well.
Oh, for God's sake!
I am not familiar with this spell. Nope. Yeah, he rolled a 2. Plus, let me check his character sheet because I have that ready. Plus, that's a 9. That's a solid 9.
He has a +7 to this, and he.
Oh my God!
Dang it.
Wow, none of us are doing good today so far.
No.
We all went through a really emotional experience, and so we're all just kind of distracted right now.
Honestly, though.
I'm gonna. Oh no, I guess I wouldn't. I'm probably too big for the boat. I
I
don't
say
know.
we
Let
put
me
the
think
wizard
about
in the
it.
boat.
Yeah, let's
Or-
put the wizard in the boat.
Oh, well, hang on.
Sacrifice his character.
How does this site work? Because if we put him in a boat, it could be like putting Toph in an airship.
Does he function off blind sight? Yes, he does. Just like Tom.
Okay, so what if because he's gonna be complete? This actually is pretty smart. If we put Magnus in the boat, and then one of us like has like a rope tied off to it, so that we have control of the boat while he's in it.
Okay. Renee, you had something?
Yeah, I mean, if they're worried about him being able to see, Renee will offer.
Offer.
I
To
believe.
Your eyes?
get in the boat.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's not gonna be good out of the boat.
Swimming.
Probably even worse off
Oh,
than he would be in the boat.
yeah.
That's
Renee,
what I'm
how
saying.
big are you?
I am small.
Just letting the audience know, I'm going to cut our video for a hot second so I can get something from Discord. We're still going to be talking. Continue our conversation. I just am working on something ATM. I apologize. Just
All
keep
right.
talking.
So Renee is small.
I am small. I'm like 5'2".
I'm going to start to walk out towards more into the water, carefully as I go, holding the golf club arm spear stick thing and seeing how far and deep it goes to see if I could like hold on, or maybe even just seeing if I could hold on to the boat as we walk down the river.
Okay.
Like, is the current strong, by the way, or is it like pretty?
It seems like it would be. It's quick enough to where you might be able to swim across, maybe, but it's not like a raging rapid. It's not white water, but it is fast, and you would have some amount of knowledge. No, from the country you're at, you would have some amount of knowledge that underground rivers are relatively quick and powerful, and if they are deep, then they are strong because they have to cut their way through miles of dirt and stone.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, I'm gonna go until I feel comfortable as myself, and then using this long spear, stone cut thing, I'm gonna dip it down further to see how deep it really is.
Okay, so you step probably like 2 feet into the water, and then you try again, just like very slowly testing. And as soon as you're like a couple feet off, you don't feel it hit a bottom. You push it all the way down. The spear is about, because the statue is larger than life size, the spear is about 7-ish feet long, and it just, you're barely holding on to the end, and your hands are under the edge of the water.
I'm pulling it back up. Okay, all right. That idea's off the table. And I look to the group. How do we go about this? One boat and a very strong current.
I mean, can everybody swim?
I can swim.
So I am large. My armor is heavy. Does not seem like a great idea.
Sounds like a John Mulaney's.
You should attempt it.
I am very small.
What about
I have no money.
what about you, Maslong? Can you swim well?
I'm about in the same boat, but I probably would be a little better off without the with the lighter armor I have on.
You have a boat?
What?
The
You said you were in the same boat.
Oh.
Renee looks around.
Really
good.
Everyone
That was
finds
really
this.
good.
Maslong
Find this.
actually like stops and goes,
I'm done with this. I'm done
like,
with
you can hear the gears grinding in his mind, trying to figure out what the heck you just
Renee's
said.
just waiting for an answer. Renee's just waiting for you to pull this boat out of your back pocket that you promised her.
Ooh.
Well, if you guys have a bigger boat that you guys can go in, well, I mean, only 2 of us need to swim.
We don't have a bigger boat.
I don't think they have a
I'm
bigger
looking
boat.
at Garhill very confused, like.
Yeah.
That's
It's
like
Figure of
like
speech,
looking at-
Renee.
A figure of what?
Speech. They weren't serious.
Oh, well, why say it then?
You know, that's a good question.
It's a real good question.
So
Character with +0
I think-
intelligence explaining figures of speech.
I have +1. I'm barely keeping up right now.
Right?
I mean, Renee's not dumb.
Can we-
She is a little like confused by
Yeah.
by
But
human
Maslong is
conversation.
completely lost by what the heck you just said to him.
Yeah, we just confuse the fuck out of each other, and I love it.
is the
Actually,
only way to get
speaking of
down. Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of which, is there anything laying about this large room that would potentially be viable as a raft,
Roll perception
other than the
check.
boat?
Or survival, actually. That could be either one.
Because, we might have a boat in our back pocket. Who knows? Fudge cakes are delicious.
Are they?
Can I help him look?
Let's see.
Sure. Take that advantage, Maslong. Go for it.
Ah, wonderful. Okay.
Here, let me see if I can help you.
Okay, so I rolled with advantage. I got a natural 1 on the other one, so
Oh my
I got
God.
a 13 in total because the first roll was a 9. So
Bruh.
13. No, this is a mostly empty room. It's you look down at like the stone-hewn floor, and even though it like there is very much the smell of vegetation here, just from all of the like dampness and algae growing places, there is no wood. There is no floating material. It's stone and dirt and water and algae.
No, I don't have a boat in my back pocket. No,
Grohill's gonna turn to Renee and just, how would a boat fit in a pocket?
Have you ever heard of a
Oh
bag
my
of
god.
Still on this.
DM's just like, there's a puzzle, guys.
Party defeated by
You
a
guys-
fucking boat. I
No,
holding?
no,
You
can't.
guys
I
ever
thought-
heard of a bag of holding? You could fit a boat in that.
I'm gonna be
Maybe
100%
you sewed one into your
honest.
pocket.
I thought this was gonna be the puzzle that went for like 5 minutes.
Grohill's gonna be, okay, alright, listen, we have one boat. We tie a rope to it, send someone across, pull it back. That easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Kenan, just letting you know, we're getting a little bit of audio bleed from your end, just a little bit. So when other people are talking,
that mean?
it means when other people are talking, we're getting a little bit of their audio from your side.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's
I'll
okay.
turn you down.
No, it's good.
Okay, so
I just like to hear you all really loud in my ears.
so just to like readdress everything right now, we have one boat that has some magical attribute to it, some abjuration class magic on it.
Yep.
Abjuration, yes.
There is a statue, and we have its spear,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing else in the room.
Pretty much, yeah.
Are the markings on the spear the ones that are on the boat?
No.
Dang.
Very easy to hold them up and look. They are not the same. Also, the ones on the spear, just generally looking at it, because you do have an eye for detail, they look very decorative and there to represent arcane markings, but they don't look nearly as complex as the ones that are on the boat. So you assume it was not an arcanist who made those, probably just some sort of artist. So
We have to make a painting to solve this puzzle.
Oh my god. I
Um,
think the rope idea might be a good idea. One and one,
How-
one and one,
how-
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How deep is it? Like, okay, so the river goes throughout this room into another. How can we see the other side at all?
Yeah, so you can very easily see the other side. The other side is the rest of a very blank room and a staircase that goes
Who
down.
should Who should
Okay.
go first?
Grohill will go, I will go first, and I will tie a rope to my end when I get to the other side, and my brother and I can pull the boat back and forth for everyone else.
That's not bad.
Okay.
How much rope do we have altogether?
I think everyone has a set of 50 feet, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Would that be more than enough?
Yeah, you only need 2 sets of 50 feet to do your plan.
Wonderful. So I just go and I hold up my rope as well.
Okay.
I don't like you going over there by yourself. Renee, do you want to go with him? You're small.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
a
go.
one at a time thing. There's a
Yeah, but he's quite big too for that boat already.
You know what? Let's try it. And Grohill will squeeze himself into the boat, and it's like he's so awkward. He's got his knees sticking out
So,
of the boat.
who jumped
and
in
he's-
first?
He's like, Grohill.
Grahil jumped in first. Give me just a moment. I'm
Oh, shit.
scrolling.
Oh, maybe all we needed to do was sit in
Who
the
jumped in
boat.
first?
And I'm dead.
I would have already tied off the
Here
boat, by
we
the way,
go.
before he got in, just for safety.
Let me see.
So I've tied it off already.
Okay. Grahil, you sit in the boat, and you kind of like move your sword because it's not quite comfortable. You normally have it. You have it on your shoulder, and as you sit in the boat, it immediately starts to sink and take on water.
He gets out. Nope. Too heavy. Too big.
Here.
I knew this was a bad idea. Too
I,
big.
like,
Nope.
I tip it over to dump the water that I took in as he's like running onto shore.
Grahil specifically, make just a D20 plus your intelligence, not a high DC. I just want to see if you notice something.
So just a D20.
Yeah, 20.
Nat 20. Something. You are a very large Goliath man. You are not as heavy as the sandbags that were holding this boat down in the first place. You are not. It doesn't seem like, just from your basic knowledge of how boats work, you should not sink this boat.
I mean, but the sandbags also.
They
also
did,
were,
but
were
from your
sinking
basic
the boat,
knowledge
correct?
of boats, you should know that you physically should not sink this boat.
You said
What is happening here?
Should I go? I'm small. I'm the smallest person, so I have the most chance of not sinking it. Probably shouldn't have sent the heavy person first.
What a
you,
Well,
you
here's
said
the
that
thing.
you said that the sandbags were centered and stacked on top of each other when you first
yeah,
took them out. Yeah.
yeah.
So like centered on the boat.
Well, yeah, they were kind of haphazardly thrown on top of each other. There's enough to fit on top, like
Oh, okay.
enough to just stack them.
Never mind.
So Grahil will say, "I don't believe it's a weight thing." Darkpalm,
Yes.
could you try getting in the boat?
All right, and she takes one like furred foot and steps very gently, and she puts maybe 10 pounds of pressure on the boat, and it immediately begins to capsize.
Even with her, okay.
Even with her.
Wow. The runes were abjuration magic.
By the way, if anyone in the chat figures it out and posts it, I will shout you out. So if you want to give it guesses, go for it.
Oh my god.
Is the spear too big for the boat?
I will not look.
Can I?
Mm.
Oh wait, no, we already.
I
I'm just
I have an
I'm trying to wonder if it's worth doing detect magic on it.
From your knowledge of magic, detect magic would only tell you A, if it was magical, and B, the school of magic it is, both of which you're already
Which I
aware
already
of.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I
true.
have identify? Hold on. I might have that spell.
Grahil is going to standing out of the water and back on the land, stow his sword, draw a javelin, and kind of like hold it like right here so that the head's right here. Walk up to one of the runes and go, "I think it's probably this spell that's sinking it," and start scratching away at the runes.
Oh.
Make a strength check.
Ooh.
Finally, something I don't have a flat 0 to.
+4, baby.
That's
Or no,
a
plus 5.
12 plus 5, 17.
17. So as you take your spear and kind of like drag it across the runes, trying to disrupt this spell, whatever it is, it drags across but doesn't damage. All you succeed in doing is moving the boat maybe 3 inches.
What the heck? Brother, could you hold it on the other side?
Of course. And I like stand on the other side and like hold it with all my force. Go.
And I try again.
Okay. As you give it that solid try, I'm going to go off your previous strength check. It is just not taking damage as you look at it. Like, you'll occasionally miss and hit just plain boat, and the boat will scrape, but you never puncture all the way through it.
I have an idea.
Okay, go for
I
it.
have an idea, but
look.
Grahil wouldn't think of it.
Okay, that's cool. Roll an intelligence check. Let's see if Grahil would think of it.
All right. Nope, not one.
Okay,
Um,
you did not think of it.
Type it in chat.
I have an idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna DM it to a smarter person in the
just-
chat in the game.
Okay, you know
What-
what? I'm
what
gonna
are
let
you
you guys
doing,
do
Rick?
that, and then I'm gonna solve this problem.
Okay, what are you doing?
No, I'm letting them do that thing
Okay.
first.
Do we? Is it here? I just typed in what my idea is, which is we can't go in it, but can we use it to like?
I don't know. You should try.
I don't know if I would as Maslog.
You should try.
Yeah,
let
that
me
was basically
roll
the
to
idea that
see.
I was DMing.
That is harebrained enough
I
that you
gotta-
would think of it.
I got 16 on the on my intelligence roll.
can
I'm
try
gonna
it.
go. Okay. I think I saw this in a. I think I saw some pirates do this once. I'm not sure. And he flips it upside down.
Pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Maybe.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Caribou.
Alexa.
Uh,
no, I can't do that. Shit. Alexa, shut up.
I thought you triggered mine. So I'm gonna make sure that the rope is tied off, and I'm gonna flip it over and dive under the water, holding onto it, and just come come into it, holding the sides.
So, okay, so you flip over the boat. That's your first obstacle.
Oh no.
Roll a strength
Oh, no.
check to try and
Okay.
flip the boat.
That's a natural 20.
Can I help him?
So,
Can I hold it? Oh, never
so
I could solve this problem so easily. I'm just
Grahil, you reach forward as you see what your brother's doing, but before you can get there, he just wrenches. And actually, Irzu,
I'm just gonna turtle it over my
and
head
Renee
if I could
would
just
notice
natural
this.
20 it.
As he is flipping over the boat, you see the water stick to the boat almost like putty, and it looks like it resists for half a second before he just overpowers it and flips it over.
Huh.
Irzu and
I'm holding it over my head currently right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Ready to go down.
And it's as he lifts it out of the ground, it's too close to his face for him to see it, but as he lifts it out of the water is drawn to it, almost you know those Pharaoh liquids where they put them on a magnet and it's it'll stick to things. It's like that with the water. It's attracting the water to itself.
Can I do something? Can I try something real quick? That might just completely solve this problem.
Sure, go for it real quick. Mazlong still has it lifted above his head.
As he's preparing, Renee's just gonna walk up to the stream, lean down next to it, stick her hand into it, close her eyes, and she's gonna cast Create or Destroy Water.
Okay. Let me read up on the spell again real quick. I will read and I will tell you what happens.
So I'm gonna do Destroy Water, which you destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container within range. Alternatively, you can destroy fog in 30-foot cube within range.
So
yeah, destroy 10 gallons of water.
Renee leans down and puts both as you guys see this. Renee leans down and puts her hand into the water, and you see her teal colored hair begin to glow slightly, and she closes her fists very quickly, and suddenly this water that was there just opens up. It looks like for maybe 3 feet in front of her, 4 feet down, just a bubble, and then the water fills back in to fill the space because you destroyed 10 gallons of water, which is nothing in terms of a river.
Yeah.
10 gallons.
It's a stream eager. Yeah.
That's a spell. That's a spell slot gone. That's fine. I don't have many of those left.
Yeah, because a 5-gallon bucket is yay big.
So if that's the case, I'm just
It was 10 gallons.
Bubble boat, bubble boat, bubble boat, bubble boat, bubble boat.
So 2 10-gallon buckets is about this much water could fit on my screen. That's 10 gallons. When you shower, you normally use 15 gallons of water.
You know what? You're right. It was an idea I had.
It was a good idea.
It wasn't a bad idea. Yeah, it wasn't a bad idea. But this thing's 20 feet wide?
40 feet wide.
40 feet. Yeah, 20 feet was the middle point. So yeah, that would. Yeah, bubble boat time.
All right.
So Hill goes, yes, I love it.
It's still tied off, by the way. So just in case.
So as you jump into the water with the bubble boat, and you bubble butt,
No.
you jump into the water, and the first thing that hits you is you do not float. You just keep going down.
Is there still air?
There's still air in it, but the buoyancy is just being completely ignored. And you actually go for about 15 feet below the water, and you feel the current pulling you, but the boat actually stays relative. You're anchored using the boat, which just seems to be floating in water. It is not obeying physics. And you kind of soft.
Do I hit the ground?
Yeah, you about 15 feet down, your feet land. It feels like very uneven stone bricks beneath you that are jumbled and piled together. This is probably the collapsed wall that is underneath your feet.
Mm-hmm.
But you are underwater, and you have a couple minutes worth of breath.
Can I see the floor at all?
That's a rough either nature or perception check. It's one of the two.
I honestly don't really need a... I'm just going to start walking forward until I can feel the rope basically go fully taut, and then I'm gonna try to walk up the edge and see if I can't get out of like next to the stairwell.
I need to check something real quick, because I for some reason don't have your shit pulled up. Let me see.
I'd really like to know what everyone else is thinking as I go.
Yeah, we just
boom,
see
and
you
just go boom.
Yeah, very
Irzu's
confident.
just on the edge, like.
Let's see here.
Oh shit.
Renee's just gonna look at Irzu and just be like, "Should we help him?"
I turn and look at. Okay, yeah, I turn and look at Graheel, and I'm like,
So,
you see,
from
you see
your
Graheel
guys'
is like-
perspective, what you see is him walk forward and then just and disappear beneath the water.
Yeah.
And
But they would see the rope.
The rope goes for about 15 feet, and then it doesn't continue moving. And actually, as you, Mazlong, as you feel like you're walking, you're pushing off of the ground, trying to move forward, you're not moving. You are just in place. You are walking, the boat is not moving with you. Your feet are skimming the floor of the river. It is not continuing forward.
Oh, okay, I see. I'm gonna notice that probably and go and like slowly make my way back to the edge of the boat where the rope is, and then get out from under the boat and start pulling myself up the rope back to shore.
That's easy enough to do. Yeah, after like 45 seconds of Mazlong being under the water, you see two gray hands come out of the water, pulling themselves up, and as he's let go of the boat just is back on top of the water in its normal position.
As I'm like breakwater. Bubble boat, no! Bubble boat, no!
So disappointing.
I know, it was so cool down there. It was like a little.
Can I? Just because I'm struggling with this, can I just make like a straight intelligence check or something?
Yeah, you make an
in
check. I'm also rolling for the NPC to see if they can help you out.
I mean,
We are dumb.
seeing that Mazlong did that,
NPCs.
I suggest that somebody pushes the boat and like drags the rest of us along with the rope.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. Hold on.
Hang on.
Just a straight intelligence check, Ben.
Intelligence, 17 plus 2, so 19.
19.
Wait.
So as you're looking, you're thinking about magic and the way it works and how magic functions. And you look at everyone who's tried to get on the boat thus far. And then you look back at the statue that was at the beginning
I fucking knew it had something to do with this. Goddamn.
of the chamber. And you realize that just like the photos were placed in the maze to tell you a very specific story, as you look at the statue, you realize the statue was not originally in this room. It has been moved here. And it is a statue of a Runaten with their weapon no longer in hand. That's what you realize.
Dark Palm, give me your shit. Get in the boat. Sorry.
Dark Palm looks at you.
I don't say that. I don't say that. Okay. I don't say that because I'm not the one that thought that.
Yeah. So
Renee is the one that knows that.
So
Renee realized it?
Renee's gonna turn around to who's closest to her? Would it be Izu? You're stood like next to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's gonna turn around to you and be like, I'm gonna try something. Hold these for me. She's gonna hand you her scimitar. You have no idea where she's been keeping it. It just appears. Give it and she gives you a short bow as well. And then she just hops onto the boat.
Okay, so you gave the scimitar and the short bow, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Those were the only weapons I had.
You pop on the boat and it floats just fine.
God damn it.
I'm gonna start making my way across. Can I do that? Can I just make the boat go across?
Yeah.
I was about to.
Actually, as you jump in, without any motion of your own, the boat just begins to drift forward, straight, ignoring the current.
All this time, the weight that was dragging down the boat was the weight of our sins.
What the hell?
I just look at Grahil. Brother, that was really deep.
Like
Good job.
Renee like gets the other side, like hops off. She like gets the other side, hops off.
You
turns around to everyone, gives a smile and like a little bow, and it's like, so it's our weapons.
Renee, as you are like in the water, you get about halfway, and then 3/4 way, and right when you get to the edge, the boat bunks against the other shore, and you step out. And as you step out to look back, everyone just sees the boat under the water.
Oh.
And about 15 seconds later, it bumps in front of you guys.
Oh.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna untie the rope.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to just take out all my weapons and lay them on the ground. Make a nice pile. No, not under your arms.
No, just give them
No,
to
but
Izzu.
we're all just leaving our weapons?
Yeah. We can't just abandon our weapons.
I look at it this way. Those creatures have let us go this far into here with no violence. This is a trust of faith.
As he says those creatures, Irzu. Renee, you're too far for this. Even though you have a really good passive perception, you're too far for this. Irzu, you look back, and you see that along the edges of the staircase, you just see green and red flickering eyes, waiting, watching.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Irzu like drops Renee's weapons on the ground, and he's like, "Son of a fucking!" He starts pulling out all of his daggers, all of his weapons, and he's like, "Fucking!"
I don't like to imagine this takes like 5 minutes. Just like you're pulling
Like,
secret
I
weapons out of
hate
boots.
this
And...
place.
Yeah,
I hate this place.
Pulling stuff out of increasingly unlikely places.
Yeah.
There's the one bit
You
where
see
they're
him
like,
pull
they stop,
one
and then we just
straight
have to
out of
go.
his pants and like lays it down.
Reaches
Yeah, I
behind
look
his
at
head,
you
pulls
like
out a
that.
grenade somehow. He's just like, I don't fucking
It's like that
Pulls out
scene.
this
Pulls a dagger out of your ear.
Oh, sup?
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
I'm sorry. I
We have a visitor.
suddenly I don't know what happened to
the-
Lucas. His video is just gone. I don't.
It's like
This is so sad.
No.
It's so
That's rough,
depressing.
man. Oh, no.
I
I even see the Discord if you run it up to his name.
I don't
It's,
know what happened to Lucas.
He's gone. He's gone
It's
now.
like that scene in
Love this
I don't know which part of the Guaranteeing film it is, but like where she just comes up and just has to take out I can't remember where it is, but she's going somewhere and just like take out like every single weapon she has, and just like just a million of them. I just imagine Irzu's doing that right now.
Yeah.
Just all 48 daggers off his body.
Yep.
Since I had already dropped all my weapons and said that, as I'm sure Irzu is doing that, I hop into the boat and go.
See you on the other side.
Okay, yeah. You take out all your weapons, you hop on the boat, and you float across. And the process repeats.
Who's next?
It's the next boat.
Hello.
Wait,
I'm gonna be
who's
the
this
last because it's gonna take me that fucking long to get.
Dark Palm's gonna go ahead and cross next, leaving her. Actually, Dark Palm's gonna try something.
time? Uh-oh.
No, she's not. She's gonna leave her shit. She's not smart enough. Yeah, she's gonna leave her shit on the shore and pop in the boat and cross. All right, that just leaves Grahil and to go next.
And Magnus.
Oh,
We'll just
Magnus-
assume Magnus.
yeah, Magnus
Magnus went in my lap. He's already there.
Right.
He's
Just kidding.
Grahil,
Magnus stays.
Grahil will look at the boat and then look behind him and look at everyone else across and just stare at the weapon pile, and he goes, "It's too dangerous."
I yelled back.
Unarmed.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not unarmed, Renee. Just
you
starts
two
to,
are on
like,
the opposite
summon
side of the
a
river.
ice
You
knife.
cannot hear this monologue.
Oh.
The only
Damn it.
the only people there are Irzu and Grahil.
Even with my passive perception of 17. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah, he's literally just staring there, and he just goes, "There has to be a way. There has to." And he's going to he'll set down his big weapons, which are the 5 javelins and his greatsword, which are all the weapons he has. And he will pick up a dagger out of the weapon pile, and try to slip it into, I guess, like his backpack.
Okay.
And surround it and stuff. He'll just be like, it's a cooking knife, and then he'll get in the boat.
Yes.
And
The
you
magical
immediately
boat
have
can't see
sodden
it.
boots as you step in,
Yep.
and then you're just full of
Yep.
water.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gets back out and he just goes, "How does this not seem like a bad idea to anybody else?"
Oh, it seems like a bad idea to everyone.
I got spells. I'm. You also have like 2 big arms that like.
True.
Is Grahil still too heavy?
Oh yeah, because
Renee just like calls across
Yeah.
because Renee has no idea.
Yeah.
Just
from
sees
your
him
guys' point of
sinking
view, you
again.
just see like Grahil turn, say something to Irzu, and then step in the boat, and it sinks.
Maybe he forgot one. I don't know.
None of us have magic bags of holding, do we?
Nope.
Lucas
Nah, I
reads
don't
the
believe
chat.
so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do not.
All right. No, we all.
You can
just
always try
have
throwing something over the thing.
Oh, that's a really good. Okay, actually, yeah, he's just gonna throw all of his javelins across the
Oh
river.
God! Please don't hit us.
Okay.
What he's gonna do? So hang on. Before I say this, he's going to. This is a really big room, right?
Yep, it's huge.
So he's going
Giant.
to say, okay,
very hard to
okay.
hit someone across
He
the
picks
river.
up a javelin. He picks up a javelin and he goes, and he like gestures to everyone else. Like, go that way.
Just see a giant Goliath man.
Has your brother finally lost it?
Make an attack.
No.
Make an
Okay,
attack.
so to clarify,
Oh, no.
if they're standing right there, I'm
Yep.
throwing like all the way over here,
Yep.
like at an angle so that it's not
Yep.
going anywhere.
attack.
Make
close
an
to
attack
it.
roll.
All right. Wait, that's my curse die. I can't use that.
I'm about to Meliodas.
All right.
This is just
First
just
one.
Throw.
That's a good scene. It's a
First
real
one
good scene.
is an 11 plus 7, 19. Nope.
Oh, no.
18.
18. So you
11 plus 7,
do the
19.
whole thing where you back up 2 steps and then give it a small run and just chuck it full on like Olympic, just like wah. And you see it go through the air, and as it goes about halfway over the river, Renee and Irzu would see this first. A shape just drop, stone, vegetation, and dirt, and midair catch it and brunk, land in the river.
I turn and look at Grahil and I just say, I really don't think we're getting through this with our weapons.
I hate this. As he drops all of his stuff, he just goes, for the record, as he's getting into the boat, and he's like knees up, and he's like, I hate
For the
this.
record.
I hate this.
By the way, I just want you to know I was rolling an alternate attack roll for the creature to see if they could catch it, and they rolled a nat 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
Missile snare! These stone demon monkeys are monks!
So as you kind of tuck both your legs into the boat, it crosses you, and it is uncomfortable, and you feel too light. Like as you move without your sword, that familiar weight not being there just makes you so much more unsettled about this place than you previously were.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's super uncomfortable.
Yeah. And now the only person left is Irzu. And Irzu, as you stand there, the rest of you see shapes begin to move behind Irzu. As out the doorway,
Irzu, get in the boat!
As out the doorway, slowly walking, you see on kind of like on a 3-limb stance where they're walking on their legs, but also moving using their front arms. You see a couple of the creatures, the guardians, move forward out of the shadows, and you are seeing them completely in light for the first time. And the first thing you kind of like, and you see this after a second of seeing everyone else's like eyes widen, looking behind you. Grahil calling
Yeah, I'm
out.
like,
You see that these are not as uniform as you had thought them to be when they were at tough angles in low lighting. As you look back, you see that these creatures are almost unique, each one of them, with how the different stone melds to the shape of their face, how vegetation grows. Some are 2 feet tall, some are 3 to 4 feet tall. There's one approaching human size. They're all shapes and sizes of these different primate-looking creatures, and you see them just begin to move closer and give you like a look. And one of them takes their claws, and they pull off one nail and kind of toss it behind them, and then gesture to the boat, like, "Hey, leave your weapons. Hurry up and cross."
I put up one hand and I pull one more dagger from my belt, and I lay it on the ground, and then I hold up both hands and I back into the boat.
Okay. You see about as you back into the boat, they continue to move forward. And as like they're moving forward, you would notice this, and a couple of the others would probably notice this as well. Only the ones that are like over 2 feet continue into the room. Like the rest of them, the small ones, they hit the threshold to the room and just stop. They do not continue moving forward. So as you're crossing on the boat, you see that like the rest of them have followed you into the room and are kind of moving up to the sides of the walls and beginning to climb, and just kind of watching and waiting.
From where I am in the boat, and I imagine I imagine the boat is starting to move at this point.
Yeah, it's beginning to cross.
Do I see any sort of writing along the entryway or anything? Like any sort of runes or drawings?
From this distance, go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage.
I'm not using that die again this game. Was it perception or investigation?
Oh, it was perception for this one.
So I rolled a 10 and a 13, so 17.
17, okay. You actually, as they get closer, you don't see runes on the door. What you do see is they've always had the glowing green and red eyes, but as the little ones approach the door, you see this little light, this little tiny green speckle kind of shine through what's in their chest cavity as they approach the door, and they physically stop as soon as that light kind of appears. The bigger ones, you don't see that happen with them. They just kind of keep moving.
Are they... Oh... Are they anchored to that specific area?
You could try and infer that.
That's what I'm gonna guess.
Okay. But then you feel it, as you're kind of studying these creatures, you feel a dunk as the boat hits the other shore.
I step out.
Okay. And then the rest of your compatriots are there. Urzu has now joined you on the other side of the river. And you can all see the creatures. I believe Urzu's the only one who actively saw the lights appear on the chests. Is anyone
Are they attempting to cross the river also, or are they just entering the room?
The ones that have entered the room are kind of grasping onto different bricks and pieces of vegetation and moving across, but they're not getting too close. Like, they're staying back and just observing you as you walk through.
But they're able to cross the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Having now crossed and being unarmed, Grahil is just going to go, "Everyone realizes we just put our trust in things that feed on blood, right?" And then he takes out his shield.
I just give you a nice pat on the back.
Don't worry, casting guidance. We still have other things to help protect us if need be.
So for the next minute, you can add a d4 to any skill check that you do.
As he says that, says about putting trust in these creatures that feed on blood. Renee's just gonna again, like the smile's just gonna disappear from her face. Just gonna look Grahil like dead in the eye. Just gonna be like, "Oh, we're putting trust in you, the one who wishes to weaponize them."
I didn't plan to
She
trust.
moves on. No,
I
she's
planned
gone.
to control.
She says that
All right,
she's
she's
gone.
gone. All right, if she's gone, she's gone. And he's just gonna go. You'll see. As he keeps walking.
Do I hear that?
Yes, you are close enough, and neither of them were trying to disguise what they were saying.
Yeah. No,
I
he
just-
wasn't like.
Sorry,
He
I
didn't
thought
mean
of
that
that
as
and I
like
was
a
like, I need to
threat.
say
He
that.
just meant that as like.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Square up. You ain't got your weapons anymore.
I just kind of. He's still freaking strong.
Yeah, unarmed attack do 6 damage. Let's go.
I can wild shape. Let's go.
I'm gonna
win that fight.
Is there a cavern that we're walking down at this point?
At this point, on the other side of the river, there is another set of stone stairs that go downward.
Okay. How long? Like, is there enough time for a little bit of dialogue?
No, you can dialogue if you need to. Yeah, we're gonna do. You know, if you want to do some dialogue now, we can break before we go down the stairs, so you guys can take like 10-15 minutes to talk amongst yourself if you'd like.
Woo.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna look at Grahil.
Look, I know I upset you earlier, and I know I shouldn't have used magic on you, but I did it to calm down the entire situation. We're all down here together, and I used it on everyone. You just so happened to get in the crossfire. I don't know if you're listening.
I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
Cool.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know my eyes are not on camera.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to make sure.
But I want you to know, I'm still standing by your side. We're still brothers. Nothing will change that.
Yeah, he'll put his hand on your shoulder and he'll go, till the end.
Till the end.
And
Not be current.
what?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead and say what you're saying.
Unrelated. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, as we say that, and we break, I just kind of look down to the ground solemnly. After your gaze is off of me.
Yeah.
Those two have that little discussion. Were you wanting to say something, Grahil? Go for it.
Also, ouch.
And you two kind of fall to the back of the pack as the other three are continuing to move. Do you want to say anything before we go to our break?
Get paid, get laid,
Okay.
Gatorade.
I just was asking. I know Renee had mentioned something earlier, so but that's fine though. Then that's fine. Then we'll go ahead and go to break. For now, we're gonna go get some snacks, use the bathroom. We will be back in, let's say, 10 minutes. So at the 47 mark, we will be back online. We're gonna just go ahead and go and take a hot second and get some snacks before we continue on to the third act of the Runa'tak temple. All right, see y'all in a bit.
My God.
Haha, we are back. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
No count. That's right in. Let's go.
No count. To catch you by surprise. Pure quality talent is all this is.
Surprise!
Hello. We are peoples, and we are back.
Sup,
All right.
boyos and girlos and
Bitches.
everything in
Oh,
between.
Oh, wait, we can't call them bitches. This is
Bitches,
bad.
bitches, and in between.
This
so.
is real bad.
They are best friends. They are best friends.
Hey, so should I? Okay, question for everyone here. Should I do the reveal now or wait till the end of the episode? That's my question. So we do have a reveal.
What reveal?
The reveal of that thing that's coming that we were talking about recently. That thing that I really want to announce on this episode, which we're going to announce anyway, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet because I forgot to do it at the beginning of the episode. That I'm currently drawing out me saying this over and over again so I can find the frickin' image to show to our audience. It's really not working, so I guess I'm going to have to do it at the end of the episode, which makes me sad.
I'm very confused.
I don't know what this is.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh, wait, no, I remember what it is. Never mind.
You do know what
You
this
built
is.
anticipation. That's what you want.
Wait a
You got
second.
'em
I
hooked.
can just go to
You
the
gotta wait
Discord.
till the
It's on the Discord. I can just do that.
We'll wait till the end.
Yeah.
Wait till the
we'll wait
end.
to the end? Okay, we'll wait to the end. But for everyone who's
Yeah.
here, there's going to be a
We'll
thing.
So many people are mad at you now.
It's so good.
No!
That is kind of the point, you know.
Now
Just
Now y'all
get
gotta
height,
stay.
you know. Let's see here. All right. So then, if we're gonna wait till the end of the episode, because screw the audience. They don't have to. We don't have to like them.
Don't screw the audience.
Yeah, that's probably
Unless
bad.
they
That's
want to.
unprofessional. Consent, guys. Remember that.
We love our audience.
Okay.
We do
Instead of
love
that,
our-
then we'll do the announcement at the end of the episode. Ha. What we're gonna go ahead and do is pop back into the dungeon. Oh wait, no, Lucas, you're making Crooklucket leave out of spite.
Oh, no.
Don't do that.
Oh, no.
That's our favorite.
No!
Calamity. Those guys are awesome too. All right.
It's okay, Rocket. They're just feelings. They'll heal.
getting back into the dungeon.
Just emotional trauma.
Y'all were descending upon a set of stairs leading out of the river room. Yeah, you're one of our top 3.
We're descending.
Descending, continuing to go down a set of stairs.
Are we Disney descendants?
As these stairs
Get out.
go down, every other set of stairs you've come down has had a clear entrance and exit. As you come down the top, it leads to the next level. This set is a little different. As you begin to go down, you come to a small landing where the staircase turns to the right and continues down. But there's also an entryway to one side, off to the side, that you can choose.
I didn't realize I'd been muted the whole time.
Were you really muted the whole time, Ben?
Yeah, I was talking during that intro and
I'm
everything.
sorry,
I was
buddy.
muted. Oof.
Oh, yeah, but
Oh, dear.
you are at a landing on the staircase where you can choose to either continue going down, or you can go off to the side. Your choice. There is a small entranceway. What are you doing? I'm going to give this decision to Renee, Darkpaw, and Irzu because they're at the front. Because the brothers are still having their conversation at the back.
I'm just carrying my big stone golf club. Don't mind me.
Have you still got that?
I was gonna say, you still have that?
Yeah.
It's not
Dude, let me
happening.
cross it.
Improvised weapon.
It didn't
Huh?
stop him from passing with it. It wasn't intended. to
I'm
be.
not using it as a weapon. I'm gonna play some golf with this thing.
It makes me angry. Not really, but are there any drawings?
Here, just off the bat, no, you don't see any drawings. It's
Okay.
relatively plain wall, unlike the rest of the temple. This is rough hewn, and when you look around, this doesn't have the same grandeur. Like the staircase, the entryway, or the continuing staircase. It doesn't have the same display of power, wealth, or knowledge that the rest of the temple had. This seems more private. This staircase even is actually only 5 feet wide versus the previous ones, which were all 15 feet.
If I sniff down each hallway, does the air smell fresh or stagnant in which one?
Okay.
Like, does the air smell differently in one than it does the other?
Go ahead and make your choice of either a nature, survival, or perception check.
Well, right off the bat, I think we're gonna go perception, and it's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Perception.
So you kind of, as you're moving forward, kind of leading the group, you stop and you take your nose and you take a deep breath down the staircase, and then you breathe the entranceway. Neither of them give you a smell of fresh air. Like, you don't feel like there's a large opening in either direction, but they're distinctly different. Whereas the entranceway, you smell must, dirt, vegetation, rot. You smell towards the staircase, you smell dust, moisture, blood. Those are the two distinct smells you get.
Oh, goody.
Oh.
I say that.
These are great things to know that are upcoming.
Isn't everyone just so glad we left our weapons behind?
I slap you with another guidance. Sure are.
Oh my god.
Guidance.
It literally just replaces the last one, so it's just like fade.
Well, it's been more than a minute. Yeah.
Considering who we are dealing with, might be a good idea to take the blood route.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Hold
Nay
on.
looks a little bit uncomfortable, but is not saying that she won't go. It's just saying that
I'm
not
going
happy about it.
to detect magic in this area
Okay.
and see if I can't look down either paths
So
and
you
detect anything.
you take a moment and take your holy symbol and kind of press it against yourself, and then move your hand in front of your face, and you open your eyes, and as you look, the auras of everything around you are just shown to you when you're looking through detect magic, and you see the non-magical versus the magical. Your friends, for example, many of them light up with some amount of magical aura. Your brother, Renee, Magnus, Dark Bomb, they all light up with some amount of magic. The belt on, or the dagger from earlier, you see all these magical things on your party, but as you look the 30 feet in any direction, you don't currently see any magic. But I will have that in mind. That's up for 10 minutes.
Wait a minute, is that dagger still here?
Oh, no, you're right. That's fucking on the other side of the thing. You're right.
Yeah.
DM made a mistake. Yes.
That's okay. I was like, did that pass somehow? Okay, cool.
No. No weapons.
I voiced that to the group. Well, I don't see any magical essence in any direction, so I say we follow Urzu's idea and go down the blood path. Yep.
Are there still vines along the wall or no?
There is like the occasional bit of like just like moisture and maybe like a grainy bit of algae or moss, but there is not. It's as you go deeper and deeper, there's less nutrients, and it's just there's not as much vegetation being supported.
So there's no chance of any like Kipu being along the walls?
Not that you've seen thus far, no.
Speaking of which, I'm actually, before we choose down an actual pathway, I am also going to look around the... How many pathways are there again?
There is one entranceway going off to the left, which no one has really taken any chance to look down, and there is the staircase going down to the right, because you're kind of like a T intersection right now on this staircase. So those are the two options. Because it is rather dark down here, so...
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I cut you off. You're fine. Keep going.
I'm gonna look around, see if I can't notice anything on the walls or near the entrances that might signify what each are, or like see if I see any signs of a certain item in that direction. Like,
go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, poo.
Oh, poopy.
So, it's too dark. I just can't see you guys.
What was it? 4? Yeah. So as you
open your eyes, forehead.
You don't quite see anything down the stairs. It just continues down. And you look down the hallway, and you don't really make out a whole lot, but you do see that it is a hallway with more rooms. You just can't really make out anything about what's particular going on without properly going inside and looking around.
Let's just go a few feet and look around then.
Okay.
Grahil will kind of look down and he'll just go, "You guys want to go down the path that smells like blood."
Is the staircase or the hallway?
Staircase is blood, hallway is rot.
Yeah, we're going down rot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He'll just go, never mind. Yeah, if we're going down rot, he doesn't have anything to say. Never mind.
Okay.
Ignore me.
Yeah. Also, Lucas, I don't know if you're a little quiet for everybody else, but you're a little quiet for me. Are you...
Nice, pretty.
He's fine for me.
Oh,
He said,
All right.
The man straight up said, "Boop."
So you guys take a turn and go down the hallway, and it is a hallway with maybe 10 doors along, or doorways. There are no doors. And as you kind of walk down, maybe 10 feet down the hallway, you get to the first open doorway. And if you look in, you see that it is a room with several stones that have fallen from the ceiling, the same like granite and limestone style brick, with pegs about 6 to 8 inches long, made of metal, sticking out of the walls, and hanging from them, you see hammocks made out of dried out, desiccated husks of vines.
bodies.
That's where I thought this was going. I was like, oh
no.
God.
Thank you, Nez.
I don't know if you're watching. They're saying you're quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thank you. Absolutely call that out. I appreciate it. Because it helps me correct things. Haha.
Is there perhaps any Kipu on the vines?
So you walk over. You are not particularly knowledgeable about Kipu, so go ahead and make just a straight int check.
Okay.
This is not a culture you're particularly familiar with.
These are going to dice jail. I've rolled a 3, a 4, and a 2. I got 3 on that roll.
Yeah, so you are just like, oh yes, some hammocks here. These are probably where people slept. You have no inclination as to whether or not there's any amount of like kipu or anything going on.
Grahil will look up at these things, and he just goes, "All right, well, just in case." And he rubs the ring on his finger as his like grayish bluish skin starts to suddenly like frost over. And you see that spread onto his armor as well as he casts Armor of Agathis, just in case.
That lasts what, an hour?
Yep.
Okay. Good to know.
By the way, do I detect anything in this area now with my...
In this room? No. Nothing procs your magic sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does this room keep going or does it stop?
This room is a singular room. As you look into it, it is probably a solid like 20 by 30 feet. It's a decent sized room, and there's about 15 hammocks hung from the walls. You see, as you look at like the floor, there are pieces of pottery and baskets that might have once held something here, but most of it is gone with age, time, or other things having broken them.
Can I take like 5 to 10 minutes of us being in here and just look for any sort of bricks that might look like they're hidden compartments or anything that is loose?
Sure, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I'm not using that one. I'm using this one.
While that's going on, I think I'm
that's
going to be like, nothing here, and I'm going to go check out another room just to like speed up the process of us being around here.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll follow you.
Okay.
I'm also using my magical sight to see if I see anything.
Okay. So what was the roll, Irzu?
16.
16. Okay. So while you feel the presence of Grahil and Mazlong leave farther down the hallway, but you kind of like take your fingers and what symbol implements you have and kind of run them along the sides of the walls, feeling the bricks. And actually, as you reach one of the back corners of the room, one of the hammocks is hung against the corner, and you feel near the head of where that hammock would go, and there's just one loose brick, and you pull it, and behind it you see a small little dugout in the side of the wall with long, dried-out pieces of vegetation that are knotted in different ways.
I'm going to take them.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk over to Dark.
Grab them. They are super fragile. Like, they will crack as soon as you apply any amount of pressure to them.
Ooh.
They are very old. Very,
Be careful.
very old.
I will hold them incredibly delicately, and I will ask Dark Palm to look at them.
Okay. Dark Palm kind of takes them for a moment and looks at them almost reverently. It's like this is the remnants of a civilization that she feels very connected to. And as she kind of runs her thumb over them and studies into them, she just starts laughing. Just full laughing. This is some acolyte's journal. He speaks here about different things he has done here at the temple. Who he has a crush on, who he doesn't like.
That's so
we
funny.
shouldn't be looking at that. It's private.
That's amazing.
I love that.
The real question is, he have a crush on.
Yeah, who does he have a crush on?
No, none of you. Don't look
What's
at
the
it.
name?
Okay.
How would you like it if someone? How would you like it if someone looked
So,
through your private diary?
apparently, the first
This is
team.
why I don't keep a diary.
He really does not like sprayed blood upon the mud, which is you see as some Runaten member. He does not enjoy their presence. Apparently, they are loud and obnoxious. And Dark Palm goes on to talk about Gentle Wind Beneath the Leaves, who is another acolyte who apparently he had a very large crush on.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Perhaps you should pocket those for Reyna. Maybe she might find them interesting.
This is a little personal for Reyna. I think.
Yes, I don't think we should.
I think
be
we put
looking
them
at it.
back. There is no reason.
Yes,
This is not historical. This is the writings of a teenager.
exactly. Leave it alone.
Okay.
Though,
Can I insight check her to see if she picked up anything else from the writings?
go for it.
Just
Go for it.
anything like I hit a... Nope, it's a 1.
And these rolls today.
Nope.
No, she just seems rather amused that it's like you don't get a whole lot of insight into Dark Palm very much, but she is just amused at what she's read. The other
I
two,
rarely see her laugh, so.
Grahil, Mazlang, as you two like kind of go down, the next room you see is a room that's actually circular, and it has set up in the middle different a inset brick oven. And you see that there are shelves, and the rot smell is coming from here. This is the kitchen. And even though everything that was once in the kitchen is gone centuries ago, there's the moisture has this self-fulfilling cycle of things grow on top of the food, and then they die. And things grow on top of that, and then they die. And it's just layers of fungus on fungus where there used to be food.
This
Smells like Mama's cooking.
Is that no again?
Grahil will laugh. Will laugh.
It's obviously a joke, yeah.
And he'll just kind of look around and he'll go, I was thinking the same thing.
That's why we have actual chefs to cook for us. Goodness. Anyway, next room.
Well, hang on. Let's do one quick check here first.
All right, yes.
And Grahil's going to look around very specifically, again, because I don't think he's the observant type nor the break the stuff down type. Very specifically looking for the exact same type of brick that was the fake wall in the maze and the entrance to this dungeon in the first
Roll an investigation check.
Would I be able to help him since he said,
Absolutely.
like, hold on, let's look around? All right,
100%. So you have advantage, Lucas.
Good. Because I'm going to need it. Alright. Well, with advantage, I rolled a 1 higher than I rolled.
Can we get an F in the chat? Jeez.
These
Pretty
rolls
happy
today.
rolls.
11 instead of 10.
Okay. No, there is no such structure in this room. Renee, which group have you been traveling with?
I don't know. I can't remember which one I decided I was going with.
Okay. I'm going to stick you with Irzu then.
Sure.
Just to balance things out. The two of you finish up in that room and can kind of like frog leap the other two as they're looking through the kitchen to the next room. And Renee, as you walk into this next room, it is an actually very narrow room that kind of continues in, and you see there are like 5 foot deep little inlets in the wall. They're about like 5 foot wide, 5 foot deep inlets. Where there are holes in the ground dug.
Okay.
And there's about 5 of these. That's what the room looks like. I feel like Irzu has figured out what this room is.
Wait, sorry.
Very-
Describe that to me again. I feel
So it's
like
a
I've
very
missed something.
narrow hallway, like leading off of the main hallway. That along that hallway there are like insets into the wall that are about 5 foot wide, 5 foot deep, with a hole in the ground. All right, Maslong's figured it out.
I wasn't paying quite enough attention the first time.
Renee's gonna walk in and kind of look in the holes. What does she see?
It is a dark path that goes down past what Renee can see. But as you kind of like give it a sniff, it's a lot of dust, a lot of like moisture and rot, and then you just catch a whiff of shit. Just disgusting, multi-century old shit.
That's nasty, bro. That's nasty.
Can I have been like walking up after we checked the kitchen and be like,
Oh, lovely. I've been
I
eating.
love how you gave that to me, Aaron.
I am going in the order of the notes. The order of
Found
the
the bathroom.
rude.
oh goodness.
Very good fertilizer.
I love that I watched it individually hit each of you. Dude, that's something they never
I
put in
did not
dungeons. They
realize
never
that
put the
until-
bathroom in the dungeons. Where did they shit? Where did they do it?
You're just so happy you put bathrooms in here, aren't you?
I know, you're just so excited.
Okay, small secret, I always put bathrooms in my dungeons because it makes sense. You can't not have a bathroom. You can't live somewhere where there's no
I
bathroom.
need to relieve myself, man.
Where
I'm
does
gonna.
the dragon poop?
Aslan's gonna relieve himself.
Exactly.
He's gonna take a
Where
whiff.
does the dragon shit?
Oh my god.
Do you
I'm
know
gonna
how
add
much
to this
like paleontologists? Do you know how much information they get from bathrooms? All right, like from how people shat. They get so much
Diets
information.
and
Yeah, their
stuff,
diets.
Why are
what
we
years
having
there
this
were famines.
conversation?
You're on
So
a research expedition. This is important, and you just
Oh.
ruined
Reyna
the
can
same
come
shit.
down here and
Hey,
get it
hey.
herself. I'm not taking shit out of here.
Yeah, no, same.
Ben, this is some important shit.
I hate
No,
this.
my God.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
here's the question I do have to ask, because there is one person who might be interested in information like that. How does Magnus respond to that?
Oh.
Magnus does not enter the room. His nose wrinkles before he even walks in the door.
Fair.
Yeah, he's got a
Well,
lot sharper smell than the rest of you guys do.
The holes are too deep for us to even collect any of it, right?
Yeah, it's maybe 1.5 feet wide. It's like you're not going
You know,
shit
just
diving.
enough to squat over.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah,
So Maslong and Grahil, you guys go down to the next room, where it is. You see, this room is actually rather small. It's only maybe 15 by 10 feet. It's not a large room, but there is a set into one wall. There is like a 6-foot long inset with a smooth top. And into the other walls, there are baskets that have kind of broken down over the years. The vegetation that they were made out of gone, pottery that's there. You see small bits of like obsidian flakes on one of the shelves, and then you look at the inset, like almost tabletop it looks like, and you see like just a streak of blood across the side of it.
Yike.
Is there any corpse or anything decaying nearby?
Not that you can see in the room.
Can I roll an investigation to see, maybe if I can decipher what happened there?
Go for it.
It's not going to be good, but I'm
You
going to
can
roll
try.
for
Yeah,
it.
it's not a high DC.
It was this close from being an 18, and then it just barely went over to 4, so I got a 5 total.
5. You got no fucking clue what's going on here.
No.
Grahil, you want to try?
Yeah. And I would also like to specifically add an element that watching the walls and the ceilings and the entryway to see if any of these fiend monkeys come through.
Okay, that's actually really good to know. Roll an investigation check.
Oh my god, why is this die stuck on this number? You're done. It's an 11.
11. You hit higher than the DC of 10. This is probably some sort of medical room. This looks like where people were treated at some point. This looks like whatever base medicine they had. This is where they were treated. The people who lived here at the very least. Yeah. It looks akin to where a medical practitioner would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Renee, ears.
We're clerics and paladins, and we...
Yep.
Yeah.
We're just...
Doctor.
Right. I knew that.
Right.
Right.
So all of these
You can insight check on that?
You're not here. Get out of here.
rooms thus far have been alternating on either side of the hallway, but Irzu,
Like to let you know that was a dirty 20.
nice.
You're
And
not in the
Renee,
room.
as you two leap forward, the last room is actually at the end of the hallway. It's the last room, and you walk in. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, I was going to ask, is my detect magic still on?
For now, yes. It's only been it's getting 30 seconds left. You don't have much time left. But Irzu, Renee, as you guys walk into the last room, you see a circular chamber, about 20 feet across. In the middle of the chamber, there is a stone table that is completely flat, and on it you see rusted metal instruments, a small hammer, what looks like maybe some chisels, and there are several small black stones, maybe a quarter size, like the size of a quarter, on the table. There's a chair pulled up in front of it. Yeah, that's what you see as you enter the room.
Do I recognize what the stones are? If they have any significance?
Make me 2 checks. One, make me an investigation check, and then make me an arcana check, in that order.
Oh yeah, investigation. That is... Alright, that is investigation. That's +2, so 18. 16 plus 2.
16 plus 2. Okay. So for the investigation check, you kind of like walk in, and as you two enter, you kind of look around, and there's not much else in the room, but it gives you a much clearer detail of what exactly is going on. You see that built into the bottom layer of the table, there are several layers of different instruments and small collected, almost looks like river pebbles. And as you look in, what was the arcana check?
Oh, didn't do the arcana. Oh. Yeah. Ooh, arcana is only a 14.
14. Okay, so as you look, you see that the entire tabletop is covered in runes of some kind, and each of the instruments also have small runes. Irzu, make me an investigation check. But Renee, as you're kind of looking at these pebbles, there's like 3 of them off to the side that are completely smooth and sanded down, except for deep grooves that have been cut into them. With a similar arcane markings to what you saw on the boat and artistically represented on the spear. Irzu, what did you roll?
17.
17. I had you roll this because earlier you had mentioned that you were always keeping an eye out for those eyes. All of the tools have eye markings on them. The tabletop has an eye marking on it, and all of the pebbles have an eye marking on them.
But this looks intentional, not like it was on the art.
Not like on the art. These are deep, functional.
Can I pick up a hammer?
Sure. And as you're picking up that hammer, Mazlong Grahil, you kind of turn into the room. Mazlong, as you enter the room, it's right when your spell fails, but right before it stops, you see just auras of magic coming off of the table, the pebbles, the instruments, everything. So Irzu, you're coming in right as Irzu picks up a hammer off the table. Irzu, you grab the hammer, and immediately it almost like shifts in your grasp as you pick it up, and your hand begins to move without you even thinking about it. You pick up one of the pebbles off of the table and just start going, and you start moving. Like, you can choose to try and release the hammer if you like, but it's just kind of going on its own.
Yeah, so what are you doing?
Bearing the immediate panic that is rising, I keep going.
Okay.
I just let it do its thing, and I look up while I'm like having. I don't know.
So
Stop that. So what are you doing?
in your hands, you have this like rough hewn. This is a pebble that hasn't really been messed with yet. It's just this like semicircular river pebble that you've now taken, and as the hammer's been going, it's been chipping off large portions of it, and it's very rough still and has hard angles, but it's almost completely spherical. As soon as it like finishes, the hammer grows heavy in your hand, and you just feel the need to set it down.
I put it down.
Yeah, it just goes poof, and it lays there inert.
But I still have the stone.
Yeah, the stone's still standing in your hand.
Can I pick up a chisel?
Yeah, as you pick up a small hand chisel, immediately your hand goes to work and begins to move with much more grace than you've ever had, doing something you've never learned how to do, and begins to move around the rough edges, smoothing them out, moving. And you guys are watching this. Irzu has never struck you as someone who's a craftsman, but immediately picking up these tools, he's begun to just immediately work this stone, making it form in a way that like a master makes. The stonework is already looking amazing.
Are there any other tools on the table?
Yeah, there are several like small picks. There's some sanding brushes. There's several things. Yes, Mazlong.
because I walked in and like saw the flash of like magical aura, but immediately went away. He's gonna be like kind of taken aback, especially after seeing that, and he's just gonna go off to the side for a minute and do a ritual spell casting of detect magic. So it'll take me about like 10 minutes.
Okay.
But just expend a slot.
Okay.
Or hold on, actually, yeah.
So
For that full 10 minutes, I'm going to keep continuing to do whatever it is these tools. Is there like anything that's like procking in my mind?
It's not like
or
you
is
have
it just the hands are doing it?
It's not even your hands. It feels like the tools are moving and jumping on their own, and your hands are just there holding them up.
So,
Okay.
Grahil's gonna approach Irzu and say, Irzu, what are you crafting?
I have no idea.
Then why are you still doing it?
How do you?
I mean, it's just like these things are doing it on their own. Don't you want to see what is the end result?
It could
I
be
do
bad.
indeed.
What if they were working on something? Does anything on the table look finished?
Yes, there are. I mentioned earlier that there's a small pile of untouched stones, and then there are 3 stones off to the right on the table that are perfectly smooth, gray stone, like sanded to a glossy finish, with.
Can I pick
deep
one of them up?
cut. Yeah, you pick one up, and as you're holding one of them, I'm assuming Irzu's holding another. They have deep cut runes in them that look magically functional from what you've seen on other things in this temple. You're not quite sure what they're meant to do, but you have these almost perfectly spherical stones.
Magical tools create magical items. Let's see what you make.
I'm going to keep going.
Okay, and then you realize that all of the tools are in a line, and you think they're in the order that you need to pick them up. So you'll pick up a sanding brush and immediately get to work. And normally this stonework, without automatic tools or magic, would take tens of hours. In about 15 minutes, you have an almost perfect replica of the deep cut spheres that are on the table. Actually, Grazlong or Mazlong. At this point, I've mixed Grahil and Grazlong. That's your guys' Alabama shit.
Grazlong.
Oh
Wow.
Whoa!
Mazlong.
Hold up.
About 2 minutes before this process finishes, you walk into the room, and you now get a better look at what's happening as Irzu is moving the tools. You see these tools, their markings are all glowing with different styles of schools of magic. You see conjuration magic, you see abjuration magic, you see several different schools working together, and right on the edge of each of the tools, right before the haft of the tool meets like the head, like on a hammer or on a chisel, there's this little eye marking that Irzu's been pointing out on many statues, and that is just glowing with red conjuration magic.
I point that I'm just gonna relay all of that to them to make it easier, but like, because that was a lot at once.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I also just something big has happened, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to go here soon. If I have to, I will just have to leave unexpectedly. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
After he points that out, I'm gonna sort of set down. I'm gonna pause, and I'm gonna try and set the tool down.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm gonna be like, they're in the tools. They're the tools.
Yes,
Huh.
I think so at least.
Wait. What? How? Renee's gonna pick one up.
Immediately, Renee, your hand just jumps to work. You start doing whatever the task of the tool you picked up was.
Ah! So let's go of it.
Mazlong is going to... Not Mazlong. Grahil is going to take out his backpack. Like, kind of take it off his shoulder, open it, and without touching a tool, he's going to slide a tool off the table into his bag.
Okay. Okay. You do that. Everyone else sees you do that, but you do that.
Oh, yeah, no, he's not hiding it.
Yeah.
He'll, like, look around, and if anyone's giving him a weird... Be like, what, do you not want to know more about this?
No, I do.
I mean, it'd be interesting to take it away from the table and see what happens. Like, if Renee's gonna try and pick one up again, and can she like try and actively move away from the table with it?
I mean, yeah, she picks it up, and while your hand is trying to do the motion, you still can leave the table.
Okay. I do that then. Do I just keep hammering nothing, or like what happens?
It's almost like instead of like actively doing the work, it's this like you feel the expectation that it wants to do the work. Almost is what it feels like. Like it's jumping in your hand, but there is no target for which it's doing, so it's just sitting there.
Huh.
It feels sentient. It feels like it's trying to do things.
I wish I could speak to it.
I wouldn't. No, I was about to say I could speak with animals, but it's not technically a beast. So, because I tried that last time.
If
Hello. Just talks to Renee just yells at the hammer. Hello. No, she doesn't.
does anything happen?
Nothing happens.
No, she
Dang.
she doesn't do that.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pick up one of the stones with the runes that's completely finished. Can I?
Maslong would see this, but he wouldn't be able to. He obviously can't tell you at this exact moment because he's trying to figure something out. But he would see that the stones that you have finished are non-magical. These are just stones that have been created. With your knowledge, with your brief knowledge on magical artifacts from your brother's research, you would know that a lot of the times things are prepared to be enchanted before they actually have any magic put on them. So these would be some sort of ritual stone that has not been put together.
I would like to, Grahil would like to, as he did before, clasp his hand over his ring, have his eyes go kind of white as this light glows as he uses Divine Sense, which I thought was only a once per long rest thing, but I just checked and it's way more than that. So, yeah. So I'd like to cast Divine Sense and see if I
cast a
sense
check.
Fiend. Yeah.
Yeah, you cast
within
it.
these tools.
Every single tool and the tabletop procs your Divine Sense.
Oh.
For fiends.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have one in my backpack. Yeah.
What? How?
That's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
They imbued fiends in their tools to make. That's crazy. I look at Dark Palm and I
But
am
how?
like,
These creatures weren't just.
we will not be relying on these again.
Oh,
is this what your blood magic did? Not yours. I apologize.
Thank you. It seems like that's the message they're trying to tell us.
These spirits are not just an army, they're crafters. As he looks at these hammers, he just and these tools on the table, for the record, with his eyes still glowing, he's still just like staring at these visual representations of fiends. He goes, they were not just the source of the empire, they built it themselves.
They're sentient tools. How? I've never seen anything like this before.
They're enslaved demons to tools.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like
Similar.
this. This is awful. How could anyone do this? He kind of like looks down at like the hammer that she's holding and kind of like it's kind of like it was there before, but there's like this deep like sadness now of kind of like looking down at this like thing that she's holding and like realizing that this thing is alive or at least has a sentience of some kind.
If this civilization was willing to enslave these sentient beings into their own tools, maybe it was just that they fell.
I mean,
If they did it to
The question
tools,
is, if they were capable of putting demons, putting sentient powers into tools and enslaving them to do their will, what kind of power did they have? And what went wrong?
Well, if they put them into their tools, what would stop them from putting them into their weapons?
And their armor and their buildings.
I don't like
And-
that. Renee goes, not. When you say that, Renee's just like, oh, that's bad. No, tools is one thing.
Maslar, your
Yes.
brain flashes back in that conversation to to something you saw earlier in the labyrinth. A scene of a Runaten man holding a spear that had been cracked in half,
Yeah.
and the image of something spilling out of it, some presence.
Yeah.
I'm still holding the spear.
No,
And
not
I'm
not
just-
the statue, yeah, but this is from the.
I know.
Yeah,
But is there another spear in the room?
not that you've seen.
Oh no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
back in the labyrinth, you remember that image that had been on one of the pillars.
So then, yeah, I am gonna take the spear I have, and I'm gonna take one of the hammers, and I'm just gonna right into it and try to break it in half.
You break the non-magical statue in half.
God damn it!
Gotcha.
The representation of things that previously existed but is not that thing. Yes, you break that in half.
Well, no, I was talking about the hammer.
Okay, wait, you're gonna break the
Yeah.
hammer in half?
Yeah, I'm trying to break the hammer in half.
As he goes to do that, can I try to stop him?
This is a very sudden thing I'm doing. I'm not making
what I'm
it
gonna
known.
do here is Renee.
Anyone who
You'll be going towards it, but I am gonna have him make his first strength check to see if he can break this. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
anyone who wants to get to him, because Grahil has a vested interest in seeing these spirits interacted as well, is going to have to go through me.
This is before
physically-
either of you
Alright.
proc to go
Anyone
to what's
trying to
going
get
on in
to
the scenario, though. This is just something
Right,
that he does.
that's fair.
Reroll initiative
Just,
on this.
just 16.
Whole initiative on each
16?
other.
The hell?
You thought we were getting out of here without a
gonna-
fight.
As
I'm not gonna attack. I'm just gonna grapple.
as you take this hammer, which has a very nice stone head, and it occurs to you now, it has a wooden haft, on it. The handle is wood, but it is not rotted in any way. And you take it and you bring it down, and you see the head snap off and go curling through the air and land on the table. And as the hand snaps off, you see this black smoke begin to drain out of it and attach itself to the handle, and it pulls itself back together.
Oh wow. Okay.
What are you
Um,
doing?
I'm trying to release these encaptured beings. They don't
That's
deserve
not-
to be encaptured.
No. That's goes over to the hammer, like picks it up, almost like, and kind of like, even though it's like fix itself back together, she's kind of like looking it over and like almost just like making sure it's okay, as if it's like a living thing. But of course, the rest of you, she's just looking after a hammer. She's like, no, these things have spirits inside of them. If you break these things, you could kill them, or at
They're
least what's
demons.
left of them. Yes,
They're
That's-
demons.
they're still living creatures.
No.
Wasn't to kill them,
Gra-
it was to release them from their imprisonment.
You really want to? You really? Okay, so say that does work. You really want to release a demon in here, right now?
Spirit would probably go back to its plane of existence.
How do you know that?
I'm a cleric.
At this point in time, Darkpalm is going to speak up. No, they wouldn't. Remember the carving in the maze. They did not go back. Remember the demon raising fields and causing sickness. They stayed.
Oh, it's a good thing that didn't work.
is that the same one that I was thinking back to?
It's a different draw. Or it is. There's a couple of them that did that one, but yeah, this specific one is the same. It's the spear breaking and the fiend being released from the spear and raising fields and unleashing clouds of dust.
Oh, see, okay. I wouldn't have tried breaking it if I knew that
Well,
it
you
didn't
see, the
go
thing is
to
the second
different-
half, because it's two panels. You just remember the second panel after she said that. The first panel. Is
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
how that works. That way we don't have to
So-
write anything.
So
Thank you. All right.
Grahil is going to walk over to Darkpalm and say, under his breath, because he knows where the rest of the party stands, he's going to say, somewhere this temple is the key to controlling and binding spirits that the world may never understand. Even if you don't want to use these spirits, I understand. But if it can work on these spirits, it can work on others, and that is unlimited power. And then to the rest of the party, he will look up and he will say, we must continue onward.
And Darkpalm actually doesn't say anything to that, but you guys see as Grahil walks up to Darkpalm, he says something that you can't quite make out because distance is a thing. And he...
You're breathing into your mic, Lucas.
Yeah,
Can
was
I
about to
pass a
text them.
perception? Read his lips.
Passive? No. Active? Sure.
Active. Yeah, actively can read his.
You just see
goddamn
Renee
lips.
being like,
Watching you.
I don't know. Would you have been occupied with the hammer?
Right.
No.
Would you have been like
Oh yeah, you were still
knowing
looking
that
at
that
the
was
This
going to
conversation
happen?
happened after, right?
I mean,
This
like
is all happening,
immediately
like,
after. This
what?
is in seconds.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I mean, all I'm saying is I rolled a 19 plus 7, so.
I mean, you catch like the last couple words. You catch the because you that is a good point. You did mention you were looking over the hammer. So as you look up, you can kind of see him.
All right, fine. I don't hear it. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fine.
I mean, if
don't
you
hear it.
understand it, you understand it. He doesn't really care if you guys hear it. He
Yeah.
No, you were actively trying to conceal it. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine.
So as you kind of walk out of the room, Darkpalm doesn't say anything back. But yeah, that's what you guys have found in this room thus far. Are you doing anything else?
And you said the entire table itself is glowing?
Yes.
Is there an eye on the table?
Yes.
Or like a... Oh, okay, there is.
So it's the eyes.
I turned to Darkpalm.
Well, what do you think we should do with all of this? Should we try to banish them, leave them be, potentially letting someone else find them?
As vested as I am in what happens to the current Runa'tak people, I cannot pass judgment on what should be done with the leftovers of a dead civilization. And you see her eyes just are kind of unzoomed, thinking about everything that she's seen in the last couple hours that are completely shaking her beliefs as to what Runa'tak Suyu used to be. My brother would be so much better at this. I do not... while I want my people to have their own power in their own hands, that power should not come from these beings. And I do not have the knowledge of how to release them without causing devastation. They have been buried. They might need to stay buried.
This is dangerous magic. This is... I mean, how... I don't think anyone on this plane could have this kind of magic.
I mean, they did, and look at what happened to them.
Well, I mean, how do we
should-
know someone from this plane did it? The voice kind of trails off. She kind of thinks about what that could mean.
It's a very interesting thought. My main worry as of right now is, what are we going to tell Reyna?
I don't know.
Either we...
Who seems to be
Say
very
we-
interested in this.
But why? Why? Did she know? Could she have possibly known about these sentient tools? How? Why would she have an interest in that?
I can't pretend to know a lot about Reyna.
Hmm.
But I don't necessarily trust her motives.
Either we hide all of our findings and maybe even get rid of the passageway here with that boat, act like none of us saw this, or we can tell Reyna about this as to not repeat history. Obviously, the civilization tried abusing this power to try to rise above everyone else, and look how hard they fell. This is not
Abuse
the
of
way.
power never ends well.
And as I say, this is not the way. I glance over at why can't I remember your name?
My brother, who I've known my whole life. His name is
Grahil. Hey.
Yeah,
That
so
guy.
Grahil is staring down at the table, and he hears you, but it doesn't really register as he just kind of says, "Why did you lose control?" And he says it like quietly, not like trying to avoid anyone from hearing it, but more like thinking out loud. So it's quiet. Someone, like not Reyna.
I'm sure I would probably pick up on it.
Renee
as I'm
Renee
looking
would
at
hear
you.
it.
Renee
Ears
would
hear it.
would hear it. Anyone close to me would hear it. But yeah, it definitely he hears you and he'll kind of like look up at you and as he stares back down at the table.
Would I have been able to hear that?
Yeah, go for it.
That is an interesting question. Perhaps we should find out.
Yes.
Let's
Are we
continue
ready to
on.
advance?
Yes.
I believe so.
I suppose what we can do is continue, really.
Okay. So if you guys are continuing on,
do it.
you will kind of.
Renee knows nothing, but Ben knows everything.
Ben knows so
Fuck.
many
Yep.
things. Ben knows so
I'm
many
like, there's so
things.
many things I want to say, and I'm like, would Renee know this? Probably not.
Nope.
Yeah, so you guys continue down the hallway back towards the way you came to the landing, and follow the staircase of blood. And as
Oof.
you descend farther down, you come to another room. This room is maybe 20 feet wide, 15 feet deep. It is a wall in front of you, and you see the brick of the limestone and granite that have been consistent across this entire temple. You see that the door set in the middle of this wall is not consistent with that. There is a white marble door in front of you. No door handle, with 10 inset circular indentations, all arranged in a circle on the oh, sorry about that. Am I being too quiet? Thank you. Yeah, it's 10 circular indentations on a marble white door with no handles. You don't see any hinges in front of you. That's what's in this room. And the smell of blood persists, but it's still faint.
I give the stone spear to Grahil.
I know you were a bit uneasy about going this way, so maybe this will help you. Swing it around if you need.
He'll take it and kind of like swing it from side to side, and he'll go, a bit heavy, but it'll pack a hard punch. Thank you.
Of course.
He'll stow it in the spot that his greatsword would
It's a
normally
spear
be.
broken in half now, isn't it?
No, I made the mistake about that earlier. That was it, he ended up not doing that.
He misinterpreted what I said.
Yeah,
Ah.
that was DM bad. Yeah. Renee and Irzu, you two were the ones holding the rune stones, right? The ritual stones.
Yes.
You would both recognize that the indents on the door are about the size and shape of the ritual stones you're currently holding.
And how many were there?
10 on the door.
How many do we have?
2. Each of you picked
How
up
many were in the other room?
3 technically. A 4th was made while you were there, so there's a 4th there now actually. But
Can we,
So
like,
we have 4,
stop
5,
putting them
6,
in the door?
6.
you sit them if you go up. You kind of like try and push the one that you have, Renee, into the door, and you kind of like try and hold it there, and it just kind of falls out every time rolling out of the door. Nothing really to keep it in place.
Is there anything different about each room?
No, they are all identical.
Okay.
During
Could I
this
try to
time-
open the door?
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
How do you want to try and open the door?
Is there a handle?
There is no handle or hinge that you can see.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna push just to see.
Make a strength check.
Do we want to?
10.
You see Irzu walk up and just kind of put his full weight against the door. Nothing moves.
I believe that
Let us
we're,
handle this.
Good try.
we're both just gonna.
Yeah, together.
Yeah, together, all right. Both of you make combined strength checks with advantage. So both of you roll with
Okay.
advantage, and then combine the number and tell me what that is.
It's the first one. I don't know if you can see it. It's
Yay!
a 20. I got a
Hey.
So give me the total of
I
that.
rolled a,
What'd you roll?
I
Was
rolled
this?
a 13.
Okay, 13.
and then a nat
Plus
20
anything?
plus 3, so
Or
20.
is that just your total?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Plus strength. And is this athletics or just strength?
This is just strength.
Okay. 18.
18? So 18 plus, you said 26, Noah?
23.
23. 23 plus 18. It's going to put you, math. Okay. You both push on the door. Not a budge.
Dang.
Even with the nat 20.
This is
Are
not.
there eyes on the door?
Stones.
There are no eyes on the door.
Okay.
Do I still have my detect magic?
You do. The door is extremely magical, extremely powerful abjuration magic. But as you guys are kind of looking at the door, scratching your heads, not sure what to do, Irzu, after you have your initial moment of like, ugh, you step back for a second, and you look back up the stairs, and you see one of the guardians sitting at the top of the stairs, looking at you.
I'm gonna kind of look at the 2 men that are trying to push down the door, and I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna walk over to the guardian.
Okay. As you like walk towards it, it's gonna keep walking up the stairs, keeping its eye on you, but not telling you not to follow. It's just gonna keep moving back up.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna follow it.
Okay. You kind of walk down the stair, or you walk up the stairs, and it leads you back to that rune cutting room.
Mm-hmm.
And it jumps on the table and picks up the last like runestone that you had left,
Mm-hmm.
and then holds it against its chest, and then puts it back on the table, and looks up at you expectantly.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay, you pick up the runestone, and as you kind of like pick it up and look at it, it looks at you and puts both of its hands like where its pecs would be, like just like right here. And then it points back to the runestone.
I take the runestone and I put it against my chest.
Let's see here. I don't think it shares any languages with you, and this is problematic. All right. So what the demon monkey, the guardian, is gonna do is it's gonna look at you and shake its head, and then just point to itself again, and then point to the stone.
I'm gonna bite my finger.
Ooh.
Okay. Enough to draw blood.
Yeah, and I'm gonna touch the stone.
Okay. And as you kind of like bite your finger and touch the stone, you see immediately the rune marks like flare up and then dissipate. And there's this feeling that like you got like most of the pieces to the puzzle, but you haven't quite figured out what the intended use for these are.
Oh no.
And
I
Oh
imagine,
no!
I imagine Renee is still back with the others, so she can't help.
well, actually, Renee, as you kind of have this moment, you're watching the other two work, and you're actually, because of your high passive, the first one to notice that Irzu is missing.
Okay.
And
So
and as you kind of look around, you can make the others aware of this if you'd like.
Nah, I'll leave them to push the door.
Okay, I'll give you a couple seconds then. So you start walking up, and
Yeah, I'll
then
just start walking out.
the other two. Okay. After about 15 seconds, you realize that there is no one else in the room with you. That like they've both walked up the stairs, and Renee, I'll give you a second ahead of them. Renee, you begin to walk up, and you see that like Irzu is standing at the stone table where you were previously. They'd been down the hallway, because you can see all the way down the hallway from the stairs. And Irzu's kind of looking very confused at one of the demon monkeys and holding one of the stones.
This demon monkey is very close to her.
Yeah, it's maybe 2 feet from her face, or his face. Irzu,
Irzu, what are you doing? Just looks back and forth between the two of them, very concerned.
Not looking away from the Guardian, I'm going to say, I think it's trying to tell me how to open the door. But I'm just not quite smart enough.
Why are you bleeding?
At this point is when the other two, if you're walking up the stairs, you would see them.
So it had taken the stone, and it had put its hands on its chest.
Yes. Roll an intelligence check, Irzu.
Big D20 here. Oh, not 20!
Nat 20. The color the stone like glowed when it activated is the same color that was coming out of the chest cavities of the ones that were stopped in the river room. Remember, in the river room, they started to glow when they approached like a boundary, essentially.
Yeah,
You
so
can
it's...
infer that they might have something similar inside of their bodies.
I'm so confused.
So is it them? Excuse me.
Based off
So
of
the color... Yeah.
what they're trying to tell you, based off of what they're showing you, is this seems to be what they're summoned into. This is like the Pokeball for the demon spirit. This is what the ritual needs to bind them here. This is the thing. That's what these stones are.
Can I take the stone and I'm going to slowly...
Okay.
Can I hold it out to the Guardian?
Okay. The Guardian holds it and looks at you.
If I touch it to its chest, does it do anything?
No, nothing happens. But as you kind of like press on its chest with the ball, you see like pieces of just like dirt like kind of fall off and crumble a little bit. And you see sticking out just the edge of the chest clavicle is another, like the chest clavicle area, there's just another stone that's glowing itself in its chest.
Duh. Okay, this is it. I get what you're saying now. They have grown the body around this because this is them.
Yes.
Got it.
That's
Right.
Okay. How is this going to help us open the door?
Are we gonna have to like take their heart out basically and take their little bean and
God.
Feel free to try and tell that to the demon or talk to them about it.
this is a Kenna problem.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, this is
As
all
of
you.
right
You
now,
got this, buddy.
hey, as of right now, Irzu is the only one that knows.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Irzu's the only one that's figured this out at this point.
That's why I'm saying it is.
I'm gonna look at.
By the way, Irzu, while you're doing this, Renee had come up and spoken to you, but you had not seen the two big, beefy Goliath boys come down the hallway, and you look like, oh shit, you're there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of look at Renee and I'm gonna say, you might just want to prepare yourself. I don't know what's about to happen.
Wait, hold on. What is happening?
And I'm going to put my hand on the guardian's chest.
Okay.
And I'm going to reach for the stone.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Mm, 6.
Okay, 6. So you kind of like put your hand there, and yeah, what's up?
Could I walk up and help her and just like as I see what she's doing, he wants to know what's happening and he's okay with her, and so he's gonna like push on her elbow.
So we'll get there in a second. So because Irzu had like reached out and he had grasped the chest of the demon monkey, and you step forward to assist. But as you do that, the thing kind of like takes his hand off of the monkey takes Irzu's hand off of his chest, and he looks at it, and he just shakes his head no, and then points to the blood on your finger, and then points to his mouth, and he's like, essentially like it's like when a child wants something before they do something.
Yeah, I'm going to let him have it.
Oh, all right.
I'm so scared!
So,
I'm gonna get your wounds ready.
Because I had seen Magnus do this, right?
You saw Magnus get some amount of blood pulled out of his body via this monkey, yes.
And that's how... Okay, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay. As you, as you reach your finger out and it, like, begins to suck on the edge of your finger, pulling blood out, and you immediately feel, like, this just, like, tingling up your veins as blood is leaving your body. It's awful. But as that happens, you feel this, like, connection with this creature. There's this momentary magical mix that you feel as it's kind of absorbing some of your life essence. And you, for a second, what it's been trying to tell you becomes clear. It starts to communicate with you that they have the ability to open that door, and you need to either give them something or do something for them to do it. They want something in return if they open that door for you.
Like what?
Like a trade.
Like,
what if we send you back?
Okay, you say that as it's still, like, sucking on your finger.
Yeah.
By the way, you took 1 point of slashing damage from the initial thing. And I'm going to say for every like round that goes by, as blood is draining out of your body, you're going to be taking necrotic damage.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll give you the total once we get towards the end.
As quickly as possible, then.
Yeah. So as you're kind of communicating with it, there is this feeling of relief that washes over you coming from that creature as you say the word release, but then disbelief. Like, it doesn't think you can do it, but that's what it wants. 100%.
So how? Break stone?
If it knew, you get the emotions that if it knew how to do that. Actually, okay, so you say the break stone, that comes across. And you see that it reaches towards its own chest, and as it grasps, there's like this...
I'm so confused.
What are you confused on, Ben? I can explain what's going on real quick.
No, it's alright. It's a lot of information.
It's a lot of info. Starts like pulling at its own chest, and you realize that as it goes to grab its own stone, it can't. Its fingers just stop, like half an inch from its own stone. It cannot grasp its own stone out.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so
just
can't
Doom style. Put your hand in and just rip it out.
Right. So
Just
okay.
Doom style.
So it wants some sort of trade. Release is truly what it wants. It can't do it on its own accord, and it doesn't know how, and it doesn't think that I can do it.
Yes.
Bro, that's so emo.
Honestly,
I look at this creature and see if any of my cleric abilities, like if anything speaks to me that like maybe I can give it some of my healing powers or anything in that.
At your abilities. Let me see here. You know, just baseline, you know that destroying magical things normally requires some amount of magic. What kind of magic you try to use to destroy something is up to you. But the easiest way to get rid of magic is to dispel it, which you're not strong enough to do yet. But you could try and physically go at it. You haven't given a proper attempt at destroying any of these stones yet, especially not the ones that have been enchanted, because this is the first time you've seen one of the enchanted ones. So that's your just baseline knowledge on how that would work. But if you wanted to
So-
try and get creative with like using magic to destroy the stone or something like that, you could always try that.
Oh, Lucas had
To
an idea.
destroy the stone
I
or
do
to
have an idea.
release the energy inside?
You don't know what the difference is at this point.
I'm going to try and bless the creature.
Okay.
I know that spell doesn't do exactly.
No, yeah, I see what you're
it
saying.
means, but
So-
like,
As you kind of like reach forward, are you going to touch the creature? Because it is you can do it from range if you'd like.
I am going to try to touch it and like slowly like make sure it's okay with me reaching out
Okay.
towards its chest.
As you reach forward, it releases Irzu's hand. Irzu, you take a total of 6 points of necrotic damage as
Ouch.
it was sucking blood out of your arm.
Okay.
And you reach forward, and it kind of looks at you and lets you go forward, and your hand kind of reaches out. Where are you going for on this?
As close to that stone as I can get.
So as you go for the stone, your fingers touch it, no problem. Like you don't have that stopping of touching the stone. And as your fingers grasp it, you can feel it warm beneath your fingertips, this smooth stone. What are you doing? You're casting Bless?
Casting bless on.
So as you like push this holy energy into this stone, it goes off. The spell happens, but you see this like visually, everyone in the room can see this like gold magic come off of your fingers, and it interacts with the green and red magic of the stone and begins to come off of it in sparks and waves. And you're not quite sure what magic is taking place here, but it doesn't seem like it gave the creature the bonuses of the spell, but it also didn't remove the creature.
And then while I'm still holding on, I'm gonna just try one last thing, which is spare the dying.
Okay.
It probably won't do anything, but while I'm here, might as
Because
well like.
it is technically a living creature that still has hit points, the spell does not activate.
Okay, I didn't know if that would do anything. All right, then I just slowly release my hand and just bow my head.
Okay.
So, Grahil is going to step forward, silently watching all this happen, and as he passes Irzu, put his hand on Irzu's shoulder, and lay on hands for however much HP you're missing.
7.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm missing 7.
You're
Well-
missing 7? Okay.
well.
So,
Hang on. I think I'm missing 9.
Oh, okay.
I'm missing 9.
okay. So I give you 9 points of HP.
Thanks.
I have 11 left. And then I am going to kind of continue walking. And is the stone out of its chest?
No, it's just exposed. Your brother's hand's currently on it.
I put my hand on it, and I look at this thing, and while holding it, and when I'm not touching it, wrapping my entire hand around the stone, I go,
Okay, that's going to take a strength check to get your hand around it. It's just exposed right
Okay.
now. Okay. Make
That's
a
fine.
strength check.
Guidance.
"Nat 20,
What'd you say?
nat 20."
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Your fingertips just push into the chest of this creature, and it pays no mind. It stays straight-faced and grasps around the stone. And as you kind of like push away all the dirt and stuff, it's like when you put a surface between two magnets where one of the magnets will just fall off. All of the dirt, vegetation, and stone just falls off of the stone and falls in a crumble around it. You are just holding the stone in your hand.
I kind of look around the room, knowing this thing
Ooh,
is still
raid bug.
here and hoping it can somehow communicate with me. I go, will destroying the stone free you or kill you?
You don't get an answer back.
I go, let's give it a shot. And I am going to basically attempt to kind of, this is going to be very, very much your call on how this will work mechanically, but I want to try to crush the stone in my hand with a divine smite.
Oh, jeez.
First, roll a strength check, and then we'll roll some divine smite stuff.
Okay.
First roll, and then we'll roll some divine smite stuff.
18 plus 5, 23.
Okay, and then it's 2d8 for the divine smite, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me those 2d8 plus 1. Add 1 to that. Whatever the roll is, add 1.
7 plus 1, 8.
8. So as you kind of apply this pressure, your palm turns upward and you crush. And you guys see this like blackish gold light appear out of his hand as the divine smite happens. And it crushes in his hand. You see the stone give way and shatter into about 4 or 5 different pieces.
Oh shit!
And like it cuts into your hand. You take 2 points of piercing damage as your hand has just shattered bits of stone in it. And you guys see that same smoke that had appeared outwards earlier. Instead of it being like a vapor like it had been previously, it just dribbles out of his hand and then begins to swirl and collect on the table underneath.
Oh.
And you see this smoke turning and gaining form, and it's still about the same size that the monkey had been, about 2.5 feet tall. The same green and red eyes flickering. And it looks at you, and it vanishes.
Oh shit!
Should we try doing that with all the tools?
Or
You hear a from down the staircase.
Oh, bye.
Doors open lateral.
Ah.
I look at Grahil. Are you okay?
As a little bit of blood kind of drips from my hand, but I've got a couple cuts. That felt great. And I'll yeah.
I'm just gonna come again. Like straight up, like he's genuinely asking, come again.
Yeah, he's like,
like
yeah,
did
you
you
just cut
just
your hand
say
open.
that?
What do you mean? Yeah, I just go we're learning. And we're helping. And he just kind of wipes the blood off on his pant, and then he's going to it felt weird saying pant singular.
On his pants.
He's gonna move down or he's gonna go I think the doorway's open.
Okay.
Irzu is gonna start walking past, and he's just gonna be like shaking his head, not so much like at you or anything, but he's just gonna say, "I really hope we did just not release that into the world. I hope it went back to its plane."
I don't know.
Was Dark Palm there?
Dark Palm had stayed down in the room. She hadn't followed you up. So as you actually begin to walk down the stairs,
Well, actually, oh, sorry.
you actually see Dark Palm look back up at the stairs. Have you finished your business upstairs? Because something very odd just happened.
What happened?
And she's like befuddled as to, because she was just standing here, and she goes, "As you all left a few moments past, and a creature, smoky and with those awful eyes, appeared, and it placed stones in the door." And you look at the doorway now. The door has vanished, and as you kind of look up, it's inset into the ceiling. It had just shifted upwards. It placed 10 stones into the door and disappeared.
Are the stones glowing?
You can't see anymore. The door is open. You can no longer see the sides of the door.
Where did the misty creature go? Did it just dissipate, or did it go in a direction?
It vanished.
Thinking back to that mural, was it a ghastly kind of like a?
Yeah,
Kinda
it
like
looked
what
like a
this form
ghastly
was?
or a haunter, like straight up Pokemon.
Yeah.
No, I meant like a ghastly.
No, I'm
figure,
talking
not like
like
a ghastly.
Ghastly the Pokemon. It looked like a ghastly or a haunter. Yeah, like that vapor-looking ghost Pokemon.
The mural did as well.
Yeah.
Vapor
It
looking
depicted some
ass.
very
Monkey
similar
looking.
things. The one in the first one, the one that was leading the Runaten, that large being, that it didn't look like. It looked like the one that came out of the spear.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's not good.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Was Magnus down there?
Nah, Magnus doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, Magnus is
I-
BBEG confirmed? Question mark.
Magnus is.
No, Gengar's BBEG. We already confirmed this.
Oh, I see. Never mind.
Okay, well,
Let's just keep going, I guess.
yeah, yours is going to continue to walk looking for any traps or anything.
So you guys walk into this room, and as you walk into this next room, it is a larger room. It's not like the football field sized ones that you'd previously entered. This is a deep room. It goes back. You see large pillars, and unlike the rest of the temple, this one seems untouched. It is clean. It is gleaming. You walk into this room, and the stone is perfectly smooth and flat, and there are pillars along each wall leading backwards. And there is a series of steps leading into this pyramid-shaped altar in the middle of the room. And that blood smell that you had smelt previously is now just in your nostrils. As you see, there is this table, this slab, maybe 6.5 feet long, 4 feet wide, on top of that altar, that has streaks of dried blood just coming off of it. And just rivulets of blood have come off the sides of these altars in this channel that channels through the floor. And the entire room has some iconography of eyes or arcane runes of some kind. This is the room where it happened.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Be in the room where it
Was this
No.
entire
No
two
one
shots
was.
No,
just
Graham.
one reference?
No, but that came to me in the moment, so I'm okay with it. So actually, yes, that was totally what was intended. But this is the room. You've made it. And you didn't have to fight a demon army to get here. You got here without combat.
Amazing.
I don't want to be here, though.
You don't have to be here. You guys can not choose. You can choose to not go in the room. That's fine.
I'm gonna go in.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Grahil's going in. No change.
And
he's
do I
not.
still have Le Detect Magica?
You would not at this point. It's been more than 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
I'd like to activate another divine sense.
Okay. You activate your divine sense, and in this room there is one presence. The altar itself has the largest presence you have felt thus far. The altar itself is bound, and you feel a massive, bigger than the 700 and something in the other room combined, presence in the altar.
What?
Oh my god. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
That's the
Well, we don't know that.
BBEG.
Only he knows that right now.
Only your
The
conquest
table
knows that.
is the BBEG.
Yep.
And by the way, Noah, that's the joke this two-shot was meant to create. The table's the BBEG.
Are you serious?
100%.
I'm mad.
I'm
Okay.
mad.
Can I just sense that, like just through being in touch with magic, like maybe some divine energy?
The moment the door opened, you felt something was not all right with this room.
Something's not all right with this room.
You feel
No.
the generations and centuries of blood magic that took place in this room, just permeating everything here.
Someone in the chat, the table is a mimic.
Dude, the table can't be a mimic because the show is already a mimic, and you can't have a mimic inside a mimic. That'd be
world
stupid.
is a mimic.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grahil looking at the table, with his eyes glowing this bright white, has this massive smile on his face as he just goes, "This is it. The source of it all."
Mm-hmm.
And he like starts taking deep breaths.
He's hyping
Oh,
himself
serious
up.
Renson, where are you? Get up. Stop.
Jeez.
Is there anything else to take note of in this room? Is it
It is
any
the altar
tools
room.
lying around? Is
There are
it just the altar?
sconces on the wall that are on the walls that are all unlit. But no, this room has a singular function, and you can tell what that function is. This is the place where the rituals and bindings happen.
Oh, frick.
Are the sconces able to be lit?
Yeah, you could. They have torches in them.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and light my torch and then individually go around just to
Okay.
illuminate the area a little better, see what's going on.
Yeah. You see pillars very similar to the opening room, with a lot of the same depictions of scenes that you've already seen, but just smaller on these pillars. And actually, the pillar closest to the altar, it's almost like, for lack of a better way to describe it, it's almost like an instructional. As you look at it, you see scenes depicting that same altar. You realize, by the way, that this altar is the one that is in all of the previous depictions that were in the maze. This is it.
Yeah. This is the altar.
And as you kind of look at this, it shows you these individual stones being placed upon the altar, and then sacrifices of every kind, food, people, money, all of these things being placed upon the altar, and then just fire. Just depictions of flame. And then there's depictions of wealth and money, all with eyes dotted all over it.
That's sad.
So, looking at this, it doesn't seem like they can do this with any mortal being. It seems like they're all coming from the same source, the infernal plane. Which would understandably make why everything around us has demons inside of it.
So we get the just to be clear, we get the impression that this table also has a demon inside of it.
Does it have
you
an
guys have
very
not done
powerful
that
one?
information yet. You have not done anything that would lead you to believe that. The only thing that you know is that Grahil, upon entering the room, exclaimed that this was the source of power, but you have no particular knowledge as to there being any demons bound here, or any devils.
Do I
Exactly.
notice his eyes glowing?
He did activate his sense. You've definitely seen that happen before. He's done it in pretty much every room you've entered thus far.
Yep.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna ask you, do you see anything worth noting?
This is the sacrifice table. This is where the fiends reside, where they come from, how they're bound to tools, how they're bound to this place, how they're bound to, I assume, weapons. And as he says weapons, he kind of like looks back, like almost like just kind of thinking, and then he absent-mindedly, his hand, as kind of the light starts to fade from his eyes, his hand kind of goes back to the spear. He pulls it out and he looks at this spear statue and at the table. He doesn't do anything, but he's looking back and forth. And he goes, this is where it all comes from. That table holds a more powerful spirit than any of us could imagine.
Now, is it a spirit or is it a portal?
I wouldn't. Just to
Portal.
make sure, DM, I wouldn't be able to see if it was a portal, right? Because
You would not.
Divine
That's not how
literally
Divine
is
Sense works.
second scene.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
no,
just
I
throwing
don't
that
know.
idea out
It
there.
is-
I don't know.
No, yeah. It's a totally valid question. I was just making sure I properly. Yeah, I turn to you and I go, no, that is the spirit that is doing all of this.
Is there any sort of iconography anywhere that depicts a very certain, like, big demon or evil god?
Not
Yeah,
gods, but you do remember two previous iconography that you can then like different scenes that you can actually see in this room, because all of the previous scenes are on pillars in this room. You see there's that first one that you saw of the Runaten man walking blindfolded, being led by a giant smoky winged figure.
I think it's best that we don't tamper with this altar. I think we should leave this tomb now.
Do you I'm gonna turn to Maslong. I'm gonna turn to Maslong and I'm gonna point at the thing and I'm gonna say, "Do you recognize who this is?" Do I recognize who it is?
Yeah, I guess
You can
when
roll
I
religion
recognize-
checks if you'd like,
Can I also
or
roll-
Arcana. Your choice of religion or Arcana. Yes, you may.
Cool.
I have plus
So
one
it's
to both.
Arcana or religion.
Why is every skill check I've rolled tonight been 5 or below?
I'm gonna tell you something. That's a 17 plus 4. That's a 21, boys.
21.
No, I'm gonna pray for your dice.
This is the second set I've used.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 16.
A
I rolled a
16.
5. Or no,
Okay.
yeah, no, a 5.
Oh,
Okay.
Because that's 2 plus 3.
This
did a thing.
does these scenes from the only one Maslong, you have no idea. This is just no clue. The other two, these scenes don't depict. It doesn't look like a specific entity. It's more abstract than that. Because this creature that is being depicted is a lot of the stereotypes you see of fiends, demons, devils, different creatures that come from the hells or from the abyss. It's not a specific entity. There is no big player behind the Runa'tak, from what you can gather from this. It is just they figured out how to get mid to high level entities and bind them to objects and use those entities to bind smaller entities.
we don't know who's in the table.
There might not even
Do you
be,
say that?
from what you can pull from the iconography, it's not even it might not even be a specific entity worth naming. It is just something powerful. There is also no evidence that this is the only table.
Ooh.
Should have never come down here. I should have never taken this quest. This is the stupidest thing. We should get the hell out of here.
Run away now. Let's go. No.
Yeah, but that's what you two learned from
Do
that.
you trust me?
No.
This is dangerous.
I have
Did
that
you-
from
did-
Palm.
Oh, no. Stop that.
This is dangerous magic. We shouldn't. No one should have this kind of power. This is very dangerous,
There's a lot of blood
all
on
of
this
us.
altar.
and it might
Mhm.
still be. This isn't just a past threat that took out an entire nation. This is still an active threat. This is still dangerous.
Grahil. Grahil. Grahil looks at this table and is kind of like walking toward it slowly, and he looks back at Darkpalm while he holds the spear out over the table, not setting it on the table yet. That is
Okay.
very, very crucial.
Okay.
Not setting it on the table.
Okay.
And he says, Darkpalm, it is your decision.
What are you going to do with that silly piece of stone?
It is a representation of strength and power that we can seize right here, right now.
I am not an arcanist, but it seems that every thing they've bound something to has a purpose. That is a statue. What are you going to do with it? Stare at it? It's not a weapon. What are you going to do? Are you going to bind a spirit to a broken piece of statue? That seems like a waste. And with what sacrifice? All of these depictions depict something being given in return. You disappoint me today. She's going to turn and walk out.
Oh.
Ah, just like my dad. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Wait, your dad too? We have the
Jeez.
same dad? Shit.
Yo, baby.
Oh my god.
High
Really?
five.
Dude, he
A
spent some time on the
real
East Coast.
dark and serious moment. You guys had to turn it into that.
I'm sorry. I
That's
coped
how we
with
do.
the
Yeah, that's
jokes.
how we deal with serious.
Y'all are the worst.
Holding the spear over the table, he will kind of, as Darkpalm says that, he'll just kind of say under his breath again. He goes, "I too am disappointed," as he places the spear on his back, and he will turn to follow her out of the room.
Nice. Okay, so it's the three of you left in the room. What are you
We
doing?
can't just leave this here, but what do we do? Looks to the two of you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I can do anything. I'm gonna.
I'm trying to think what I could say that's not, because I am trying really hard not to meta right now.
With
Trying
it.
so hard. 'Cause I'm like, what would I reasonably know, and what would be a guesstimate, and what would be pushing it too far? Ugh!
I think I'm gonna pray
All
and
right.
see if my god can't give me any insight.
All right. What are you doing for this prayer? How are you praying?
I'm just going to take my my ring with the insignia, the holy symbol on it. I'm gonna kneel down on one leg and just look down on it and start just praying to my deity, asking some questions. See if they'd reach out. So
What do you
I'm
say?
just going to. Okay. I need your guidance in this moment. I don't know what this is. I don't know how to take care of this. But it is a power that should not be wielded by any being on this plane. What do I do?
Okay.
He's rolling percentile dice.
No.
I know this time.
Okay. You kneel there for a second, the torches around you making the room uncomfortably warm with how humid it is. And as you kneel, it's not a direct interference. You don't feel suddenly this inspiration comes to you. You don't have images or the ground doesn't shake. But you just feel a sense of vindication. Like what you're saying is right. Like what you've said thus far, that it's not... Because what you said was, this is a place that does not belong to anyone on this plane. That just feels right. And you don't know if that was actually God talking to you, or if that's just something that's in the back of your head, but that's what feels right.
Right. Okay. And is that all I get? Is that the end of the prayer?
That's what you got.
Okay. Not to sound like greedy or anything. Is that all I get? No. I think that's the case. Would I know that this wouldn't be damaged by any weaponry?
You would draw upon the fact that you know that the possessed items you've seen thus far are very hard to destroy, and that magical items of great power are almost impossible to destroy. So you can probably assume it'd be very hard to break this. And if you did, you don't know what would happen.
This is true. What about the entrance to this room?
The door? It's still open.
Yeah. Well, does there seem to be any way to release the door or maybe enclose the area?
Not that when you walk up, you don't see any particular way to trigger the door. It is just open at this point. You don't know if it closes or not, but the three of you are still in the room and you don't see any way to trigger it.
I look at the other two.
I think this needs to be left be, whatever it is, as to not cause any more damage. And we should close this up. No one else needs to follow this.
What are we going to tell Reyna?
We got to a river, and we couldn't get further.
What if she decides to come down here herself?
We burn the bridge. And if she gets this far, there's nothing for her to find if we cover up the entrance here.
I'd feel wrong just leaving this place.
Well, there's nothing we can do now. So it's either hide it, or let others find it. And I don't think I would want anyone else to do this. Is
Even if
my
we
brother
try to
far
hide
out of
it.
Yes, your brother has left. You cannot see where he is.
As you can see, even with my brother, seeing this power and trying to find out ways to utilize it. like this empire once did. We cannot let history repeat itself.
No. But it will still exist on this plane if we leave it here. And that doesn't feel right.
What do you suggest?
I don't know. How... I'm conflicted here. I don't know what to do because part of me is like, because Reyna doesn't want to. Reyna doesn't want to leave it there, but I am very aware that if we try and destroy this thing, that's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
I would
that's
say
kind of what I want to do.
I would say that the only people I know that are powerful enough to be able to take care of this maybe is the people at the college where Reyna came. Where Reyna came from. I don't necessarily trust people there. I don't even trust ourselves here. Does anyone here know anyone powerful enough to take care of this?
Where is Magnus?
He never
Let
made
him
it past
be
the
here.
river. He
You liar! You said his nostrils flared at the smell of shit.
Shit. All right, he's technically here. What do you need him for?
I just ask him if he knows of any way to perhaps suppress his power or destroy it without releasing it or even hiding the area.
Hey, Magnus, touch the table.
For the sake of brevity, because if he's here, he's been here for the whole thing. For the sake of brevity, he would be able to tell you that dispelling high-level enchantments is very, very, very hard and generally requires someone of almost the strength of the person who cast it. None of you are that. This is endured for centuries. The best thing to do would be to bury it if you wanted other people to not find it.
I ask him if he has any spells that would be useful to burying it.
Let me double check his character sheet, but I don't believe he does. Let me look at his spells.
I really don't either. I
Actually,
don't even have a bomb.
wait a second. Actually, he totally does have one that could collapse a tunnel.
Does he have a fireball that could collapse a tunnel?
No, he has an earth tremor.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, he could
Look at
collapse
him go.
he could collapse one of the tunnels if you needed him to.
So I look at you two.
Should we collapse it right here at the entrance where they know there might be something beyond, or should we do it further up so they don't continue this far?
As much of this tunnel as we can collapse.
I say we block it every step of the way that we can. Here.
Yeah, exactly.
I
The
look
bridge,
at
the river.
Magnus.
How much are you able to do?
I can collapse from the landing onwards. So like where the stairs go down, like the split off from the housing to the down, he can collapse from there down to the door.
Long
so
shadow?
would people still be able
I'm
to
sorry, I
get
have one
to
voice.
where the sentient tools were?
Yeah, they would still unfortunately be able to get there. He can't collapse that.
Okay.
Let's throw those down in here and then collapse it.
Okay.
I say that in my voice.
You guys can take the next 15
Yeah.
minutes if you'd like to kind of gather everything that you find up there, drag it down here, and collapse the tunnel leading to it. But as the three of you walk out of the door, you hear as the door closes behind you. No one being in the chamber any longer, and you hear
Magnus is still in.
and you hear clack, 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 as 10 stone eyes drop to the ground out of the door. Still glowing. Still there.
Is
And
that
actually,
easy?
as soon as they hit the ground, the eyes begin to swirl, and the dirt around it begins to form on each of the eyes. And you see 10 small, maybe 1.5 tall guardians appear
Excuse me.
where the stones had fallen.
I look at these little creatures, hoping that they understand me.
If I were you, I'd get on out of here. We're gonna close this up.
They don't seem to understand you, but they leave because that's their
I like eye
impulse.
point in the direction too, as well.
Yeah, they kind of look at you and move. Yeah, and they disappear down the hallway. Actually, Grahil, you at this point, you've walked away from them and you've made it up to the river. And actually, as you were making it to the river, Darkpalm has already made it past the river. She is leaving the temple, going back up to the maze. She's been walking for a while now. Yeah.
Are you catching up with her, or did you?
Well, Grahil is now behind the river. If he wants to try and catch up, I will let him, or he can be wherever he'd like on the path. Grahil?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking. Yeah, he is. I mean, I think he's accepted that this place has been fully explored. So he is going to exit. He's not going to rush to catch up with her because he gets that she is unhappy with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he also understands that a lot of the symbolic action of him of the spear was lost there, and so he's not going to try to. What he is going to do is leave, gather his stuff and leave.
She has a very literal,
He'll
straightforward
wait for everyone
mind.
yeah.
She did not catch a lot of what you were trying to imply there.
Right.
Yeah.
He will once all is once he's out of the temple, assuming he makes it out of the temple, he'll wait for the rest of the party there. But he's.
Okay. I just want to see how far you
leaving.
went because I needed to make you aware of something before the rest of them, if that was the case.
He's on his way out.
As you hit the maze, you kind of pull out a torch to light your way. There is a lot there that wasn't previously there as you're leaving. You see piles of stone and dirt just dotting the floor. Just piles of vegetation and dirt, maybe a foot wide in diameter, that have been left there. And you do not encounter a single guardian on your way back up.
Oh.
What have you done? What did you do?
No.
But you leave the temple easily enough.
Oh no.
There's a demon army freed on the earth.
Oh my
You
god.
figure, using your brain, because even though you're not the smartest, you are able to figure things out after a while. The first thing that hits your brain is, what was stopping them from destroying their own stones were the stones they were locked in themselves. So the moment you free one, it can free the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Wait.
rest of you, after taking time to
For the
bury
record,
the tunnel,
That was a group decision.
I will, yeah, that I will not put that on Lucas, but we fucked up. Oh no.
So as the rest of you take about 15 minutes and collapse the tunnel
Oh.
behind you, you cross the river, gather your things, make your way out of the temple, or make your way out of the river room to the maze room. You realize this too as you begin to walk out of the temple.
Do you tell us though? That's the question.
When
well, no, we would also know.
yeah,
Oh, we would all
you guys
know.
will notice this on your way out as well. But when
Yeah,
he
if he
gets
knows,
out,
we all would.
he will look at Darkpalm and just kind of say, "You saw the rubble."
I saw it, and I know what it means.
They could have been ours, and now they're.
It's a
Remember
good thing
that.
they were not. I hope they've made it home. I don't want them here.
I agree.
I believe they're going home anytime soon.
Are they still at the exit?
Yeah, they
or
were
the
waiting for you
entrance, I
guys
suppose?
outside of the temple.
As we all reach up, I'd like to. When Reyna asks what we found. Oh shoot! I meant to also say when we got across with the boat, I was going to put one dagger into it and see if it sunk to try to get rid of the boat.
You take a moment and you kind of hide the dagger under one of the boards on the boat, and it doesn't sink immediately, but when you step into it, it does sink.
Amazing. Okay, so I will.
Go me a favor and do me and roll just a d20 and add your choice of intelligence or dexterity to it.
Oh, that's the best roll I've got so far. Dexterity or intelligence? Wait, dexterity or
or intelligence?
They're both +1. Just a 20, dirty 20.
Okay, so dirty 20. You've essentially rigged this boat to be unfindable unless somebody investigates this dagger that is 20 or higher, essentially. People have to find the dagger before they can get across.
Wonderful.
So that's good to know.
So I will shoot. Because, yeah, the boat won't go anywhere, and if they get that far deep, they're going to find the boat, so probably thinking... All right, so we sunk the whole entrance, though, right?
The whole entrance to going down to the main tunnel. They can still get into the living situation.
Gotcha.
But you took all the tools from there and placed them down below.
As I exit them, when she asks us what we found, we couldn't get past the river. Is that agreed? We all agree on that.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And I look at Grahil. Oh, did you? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
Nope,
I said
I'm-
agreed.
Sorry.
That's all.
Yeah. Good.
I look at Grahil. Even though, and I know you wanted to utilize this power, even though we couldn't, it'd be best not to let them get it instead.
No.
If we... okay. There are powers on this planet. People that hold power, that have the entire system on their side. The Valtaikans, the other human kingdoms that oppress the world, they have power on their side. You think they play fair? I understand that you didn't want to seize this power. I understand. And he's now talking to all of you. That first part was to his brother. He's now talking to all of you. I understand you didn't want to seize this power. But if we play fair, if we play clean, we lose.
This isn't in the way, though. Two wrongs don't make a right. And using frankly, using a power that's not even of this plane to try and seize control, is that what you want to do? Seize control? Does that make you any better than the oppressors themselves?
What I want is peace and freedom for all.
I hold up our family insignia. Do you think that's what they would want from us? Do you think that's how they would want us to achieve that goal?
I don't think that our family would ask questions of how.
Oh, so I was when I said that, I was also looking up, like referring to our deity.
Oh!
My apology.
I think that they can be at times tunnel visioned.
Speak up a little bit, Lucas.
Sorry. I think that they can be very narrow-minded.
Okay.
And I just want to say this with the context of, I think kind of growing up, Grahil was never a fan of the god that you worshipped.
Fair enough.
He said,
That's fair.
"Oh."
I don't know if Maslong would have picked up on that growing up. I feel like he would. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let that.
I'd say he would. Grahil was not like a subtle. Is not a subtle person.
Of course, yes.
As that statement is made, unless anyone has anything else they want to make clear,
Yes.
or stay. If you have,
I would like to do one more
okay,
thing.
do your thing.
As kind of we begin this journey back or whatever, Grahil will, once everyone else is kind of, I don't know, sleeping or doing thing or whatever, reach into his bag and without taking it out, wrap his hands around the small tool that's left there.
Yup. And that is where we're gonna end the session.
Forgot about that.
You guys.
Oh my gosh!
You guys continue on telling Reyna
You
everything you didn't find.
Bastard.
And that is the end of Ruins of the Runa'tak.
Ah.
That was a fun
Right
little
here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we had fun with that, guys. We'll break that
Oh
down
my
after we're off the
gosh.
stream. But yeah.
Jeez.
So these characters, I've already spoken with Birdie, the DM of our flagship campaign, the Sorodin campaign. These characters will appear again in the future. Whether or not they are piloted by us or not is up in the air, but they will appear at some point. Their story will not go unwritten. Things are happening with them in the world, and we will definitely encounter them at some point in the main campaign.
Yes.
I would be absolutely down in the future to do another one-shot with these guys. These guys are great. But that's kind of it for our shows. Besides, I have one announcement I've been teasing literally all session, and I'm really excited. I'm so excited.
Please finally
before
show
you
it.
leave, know that next week in our Thursday slot, I think it's going to be
Thursday
7 p.m. No, what time is? Okay, wait. I don't remember the time, and I apologize that I can't tell you the time exactly. But on Thursday afternoon, we will probably post some stuff about this. So check our social medias because we're going to talk about it. We have a new show coming for anyone who is familiar with the with D&D TikTok. We have a very good friend called The Adventures of Mr. V, who will be moving his TikTok series into a full-length discussional conversational show known as Tea with Mr. V. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be so good. We're so excited for Tea with Mr. V.
Heck yes.
Yeah, it's going to be an interview-style show where you just have casual conversation and good drinks with Mr. V himself. The first few episodes are going to be some cast members you're familiar with, some members of our BioShock and Shazam games. And then we've got some really cool guests already lined up for later in the season. I can't confirm any of them, but I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't say.
No.
I can't
Don't
say
say
who it is,
it.
but I got some really cool stuff.
You can tell us after this.
Yes.
I can tell all of you guys. Yeah. But yes.
And then I'll spread your
Yeah,
secrets
have a
amongst
Google Doc.
everyone.
Yeah. So that is it for today, I think, guys. I think we had a great time. But I think we're going to have to end it off there. So we love all of you very much. We'll be seeing you again next Saturday, same time, same place. Bye, everybody.
Love you.
Bye.